gone, we too Brooklyn strong. Can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N. 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 B-R-O-O-K. We well. Okay, we well. Okay, we well. Okay, we well. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
That hit. Cam Thomas.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting the score next. My J is all net, me and Jay just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a ref, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Make you watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. Spin between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to paint like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as Shamsu, and when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. The sturdy or Millie rock like a fan do. That's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel.
B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy. Can y'all hear me? It's Big Fan Breezy. Can y'all hear me? Oh, yo, shout out to Jelly. Yo, what's good with you? Hold on. All right, I'm back. Shout out to Nets fans. We the best fans. We ready to get right into it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we going into the rebuild. Everybody talking about who's gonna be here and this and that. Talking about the draft, which don't happen for a whole nother season. We still got like a whole season, 82 games to get through. And from a perspective from Teaneck to Brooklyn, the book that I read, I get a lot of my thank you, Jellio. What up, John? You there?
Hey, Breeze, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. I'm reading this book, Teaneck to Brooklyn, and he got a chapter in here, and I sent him the link, so you might pull up the guy who wrote this book.
Ooh.
So basically, it's called Rebuilding the Right Way. It's chapter 16 in the book. I'm going to read some of it. Me and you and the chat, we're going to have dialogue about it. You know what I mean? Just to kind of give us the perspective of what rebuilding the right way looks like. This is from 2016 through 2018 and 19. So this would be 1, 2, 3 seasons. So, before we even start, we can see that. He just hit me. He might jump on.
Okay.
Word. So he got rebuilding the right way. He said, okay. All right, yeah, we're gonna link. He's definitely gonna pull up one of these days. I don't know if he is now. Hopefully, he's just tuning into the show. But we're gonna read some of this, and then we're gonna go to John, and then you're gonna hear me and John go back and forth. Chat, just chime in at any time. Let us know how you feel about what we're reading. Excuse me. We're gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. All right. So, chapter 16, Rebuilding the Right Way, 2016 through 17 through 2018, 19. It's 3 seasons. So it goes. In February 17, 2016, the Nets officially unveiled the HSS Training Center to complete the integration with the Brooklyn community. In that same frenzy period, the Nets conducted an exhaustive search for a new general manager to replace King, with the vetting process led by Ras Muno, who's reported to Prokhorov. Just one day after opening the HSS Training Center, Brooklyn agreed to terms with Sean Marks, who has spent 5 seasons with the Spurs and roles ranging from assistant coach, assistant of basketball operations, director of basketball operations, and general manager of the Spurs. Then D-League affiliated assistant general manager under R.C. Buford for 2 years. Marks was 5 years removed from his 11-year NBA playing career after originally being selected out of Cal in the second round of the 1998 draft by the Knicks. Oh man, it's just they always in our fucking story, man. All right, hold on, let me just keep going. The New Zealand native represented his country at the 2000 and 2004 Olympic Games, yet his 2.8 points and 2.2 rebounds per contest NBA career averages don't tell the full story of his playing days as a glue guy on several title contending clubs, including the 2005 NBA champion Spurs. Marks inherited a dreadful Nets roster devoid of draft picks or franchise caliber talent outside of Lopez and with money tied up in all of the wrong places. So basically, Sean Marks took over the team with Brook Lopez as the only talent, with
Right.
no draft picks. No draft picks. Shout to Urban K, shout to Leaf, shout to Cottage 81. Um, Once again, shout to Jellio. Shout to John. You want to say anything, John, or you want me to just keep reading?
Listen, like you're saying, a rebuild, there's so many different components that go into it. There's who you got, who you can see as your future, what players fit, what players don't. I think with the Nets, their problem has been that they've had too much turnover, especially since Sean Marks has taken over the team. I mean, there's new players every season.
But
There's never really been a
right,
core that's been together to build any real type of continuity. I mean, you look at a team like the Celtics, they had Tatum Brown together for years. They failed a lot, but they still kept the main core pieces together and just add on top of it when they needed to, and they won. Like the Nets, if
right.
they ever want to get to a place to win, you got to have the right components, and they got to be together for a while. You can't just buy a championship anymore. I think that's
No,
something to note in a rebuild.
not, not absolutely. But before we go to Iceman, John, just speak to a 3 year window because that's the seasons. He got 3 seasons from 2016 to
Mhm.
17 to 2018 to 19. How do you feel about a 3 year window to say that we'll be ready to compete in 3 seasons? Because that's when I hear the word rebuild, that means when do we get back? When do we start talking about championships again? And they
Right.
saying 3 seasons rebuild, so you rebuilding to that. So do you think it takes to build to? Let me ask the question this way: do you think that it takes 3 seasons to rebuild the right way?
I always want to say if you have all the right assets in front of you, draft capital, salary space, the core pieces, it can be done. But for Brooklyn, they have the tools. It's how can we utilize the tools to our benefit to have multiple years of contention, not just we're going to contend after 3 years and it's going to be fine and dandy because the Nets did that a few years ago and they only had 1 year window in actuality. The other 2 years I really don't count because the team was self-destruction at that point. But in this case scenario, we're in a very opportune time right now. We're heading to 2025, which is looking at likely one of the most historic drafts in a long time with 6 picks. That's the most picks in the Eastern Conference, Western Conference in the league. And the Nets have a chance to get a top 3 pick. That is huge. We are literally building for that moment, and I can't wait till all the Brooklyn fans can see that. Then you have the following draft where we still have a pick. Not sure who we're going after yet specifically because to get a back-to-back top pick is very rare. But after that, that's when it gets interesting because the Nets will have cashed in on the 2 main drafts. You can have your core pieces at that point. Do you see yourself using the cap space you're probably going to have, which is a lot, and the draft capital to make win type moves? It's
All
interesting. The
right,
Nets,
but not to just to answer the question, so we could go to Iceman. Three
right,
year
right.
three year window based on what you see and what you know about the Brooklyn Nets right now. Do you think in 3 years we will be ready to compete for a championship based on what we reading and everything like that?
It's possible, Breezy, but we have to see the pieces actually be together for a amount of time. With Sean Marks, he likes
Right.
to turn the roster over a lot,
No,
so
I know,
we have to
I
see.
know. But I got you. I'm with you. Shout to Josh. Thanks for joining the panel. I'm just trying to get the Iceman. Shout to Eskimo. Before you leave, John, just give a quick commercial. Let them know where they can find you on Twitter, and then we're gonna go to Iceman.
All right. Just 1 second. I wrote it down here somewhere. sh-
We can get back to that, John. Don't trip on that. All right, we're gonna go to Iceman. I mean, unless you about to leave right now, John, is you? If you ain't fit to leave right now, don't trip, bro. We'll get back to it. But shout to John, man. Thanks for that. We're gonna go to
No problem,
Eskimo.
bro.
Talk to us, Eskimo. Do you think what we got right now? Do you think that the Brooklyn Nets could be back in championship contention in 3 seasons?
Nah, 3 seasons? No. It takes longer than that. You know what I mean? Uh,
Andre 76 in the comments, he said 4 seasons or more to fully rebuild. How you feel about that?
yeah, like, hold on, give me 1 second.
Well, I mean, based on what I see a strong core. I see a strong. To John's point, Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, Dayron Sharp been together for 3 seasons. It look like Jalen Wilson, Trendon Watford, and Noah Clowney is going to be added to this court. They're not necessarily. I don't think they're going to be the stars of the team. And I think that's what the fans are saying. Oh, we need a superstar. Yeah, maybe we do need that player to take us to the top. But I do think that we could get that player in this draft. And to be honest, the magnitude of this draft is more important to me than the next draft. I don't really want us to focus on that 2026 pick the same way I want us to focus on the 2025 pick. I really want to win big in this draft.
Right.
Like, um, yo, hold on, Jack City. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I know you on your Nick fan shit, but
Wow.
Noah Clowney is nice, man. I want to let you know
Ooh.
that. Noah Clowney is part of the reason why you're not going to be able to be double Cam Thomas, and part of the reason why y'all might lose to the Brooklyn Nets in the regular season. Now, I apologize for that Nick fan interrupting. You know what I'm saying? My guy
All
Iceman.
good,
You
please.
there, Iceman? Did Iceman
I'm
get
back.
back?
I'm back. Yo, yeah. It takes longer than that. It takes like I agree with Andre 76. It takes 4 years to get up like the team and everybody to work together. It takes long. You can get the pieces, right? You can get all the pieces maybe in 3 years, but to be back in that contention, it's going to take longer. For instance, like I was saying about Boston or look at Minnesota, how they built the team, how long it takes. They got to keep changing pieces to find the right players to actually match up together. You know what I mean? To get to that level. So it takes a minute, but
Right.
you can find the pieces in 3 years though.
Okay. Remember, we read this out of the book. It say rebuilding the right way. It got 3 seasons, 2016 to 17 through 2018 through 2019. So we're gonna continue going. We're gonna continue reading.
All
It
right.
says that the Nets have become the laughing stock of the league and fodder for critics, a case study on how to run a basketball team into the ground as quickly as possible. The Celtics were reaping the benefits of King's missteps and absurd directives from ownership to win at all costs. The Nets were headed for the NBA draft lottery for the foreseeable future, and all the draft capital that should have been retained to put the team back on course was left unprotected and sent away to Boston. We all know about that. We ain't fit talk about that shit. Let's keep going. Mark's first order of business was mitigating the team's losses by waiving Joe Johnson on February 25th, 2016, who agreed to a buyout and final of the 6-year, $124 million contract, which is interesting that he has 6 years because you don't see a lot of 6-year contracts now.
Right.
But continuing, when Johnson signed his contract in 2010, it was the NBA's most lucrative contract at the time. The next GM successfully negotiated the buyout of the 34-year-old $24.9 million salary for that season, with the Heat signing the veteran after he cleared waivers. Johnson's legacy in Brooklyn was mixed as he emerged as as one of the NBA's top clutch scorers and most feared players in isolation, but like Williams, his game in and game out production failed to match up to his record-setting free agent contract. Basically, he was great, but he didn't play up to his contract. In 288 games with the Nets, ISO Joe averaged 14.7 points, 3.4 assists, and 3.8 rebounds. But unlike Williams, and they speaking of Darren Williams or Deron Williams, elevated his game during the playoffs, averaging 18.3 points, 3.3 assists, and 4.6 rebounds in 25 games with Brooklyn. The second poster child of the Hello Brooklyn backcourt marketing campaign was now elsewhere, and Marks wasted little time in undoing some of the damage from the prior regime. He honed it. There's 2 times they're talking about Sean Marks having to play cleanup because of what happened before he got there. I'm just reading. That's what I'm reading.
Right.
He honed his craft in San Antonio and adapted the template used for his championship teams, tailoring it for a better culture in Brooklyn. The Nets front office put added emphasis on adding scouting, analytics, and uncovering talent other teams may have overlooked both domestically and overseas. Okay, so to me, basically, it reads Sean Marks pretty much part of the rebuild mode is not just looking at talent that teams might have overlooked here, but abroad overseas basketball as well. and he walked into a bad situation. Got ISO Joe off of the books. So basically, you could tell that the writer is a fan of Sean Marks, and he seems to show you not necessarily his opinion though. He kind of just stating the facts about what Sean Marks did when he first got here. He did that was a good cleanup job. That was. Um, but how do y'all feel about what I read? We gonna go to Iceman first, then we gonna go to John.
Sometimes it happens like that, bro. Where you got ISO Joe, and some players don't perform. You know what I mean, and then others do. That's part of having the team. You know what I mean. That's why you got to build a team the right way. If you build a team the right way, when some players don't have it certain times or certain nights, you got the other guys around them to kind of pick up the pieces. You know what I mean?
Nah, absolutely. John, how you feel about what I read?
Listen, I think we all can't discount the work that Sean did when he got to the Nets his first year. I mean, he had no draft capital, no real assets. Team was starting from the bottom down. For him to do what he did in 3 years' time, to build them up into something, to have a core, to have a foundational culture, and then go big and get Katie, Kyrie, and James on the team, that still feels like a dream in my eyes. But Sean really did take this team from the bottom to the top in a short amount of time. But the thing is this, has he learned from his mistakes going to this full first official real rebuild, that he can improve upon those and actually hold everybody accountable, because the accountability factor really wasn't there the last few years when the team was contending. So that's what I hope to see from Sean the second time around if he is still the GM. Can he hold everyone, including himself, accountable? I think that's what I'm going to be looking for.
All right, we're gonna keep it going. Shout out to Iceman and John. This then it goes. There's no better example of Mark's keen eye for talent that is signing of the NBA than D League stand out by and nearby Yonkers, New York native Sean Kilpatrick. Now I ain't gonna lie, I used to like Sean Kilpatrick. The Nets signed Kilpatrick to a series of 10-day contracts before inking into a multi-year deal before the 2015-16 season concluded. The former Cincinnati Bearcats star flourished in Brooklyn, averaging 13.8 points in 23 minutes, an exponential leap from the mere 12 total games, he played in his NBA career at the point. Yeah, man, he was my favorite player at the time. I remember him. Mark's thriftiness and finding diamonds in the rough would be a theme for his next few seasons, as the Nets' key executive was a major impetus in what you ultimately redefined the team's trajectory. I'm gonna keep going. I don't know if I'm gonna read this page for page, but I'm trying to see his perspective on it. And he said he was gonna link too, so he's definitely gonna do a part together. But I want to read this next part. He goes, Mark's nuance and resourceful roster maneuvering help expedite the tedious process of pulling the franchise out of NBA purgatory. The Nets executive took the lead in the quest to fill the team's coaching vacancy and exercise a patience and measured approach by not jumping at the hottest retread on the coaching market, but instead sought after a coach with a penchant for developing young players to unlock untapped potential. Looking no further than Popovich coaching tree, Marks uncovered another hidden gem, Kenny Atkinson, who worked under former Spurs assistant turned Hawks head coach Mike Budenholzer in Atlanta. Prior to his 3 years with the Hawks, Atkinson was hired by D'Antoni to join his staff with the Knicks for 4 seasons starting in 08 to 09 season. 2008-2009 season. Atkinson received ringing endorsements from his former coaches and players alike as a tireless worker who was a sticker for fundamental play and demanded accountability from all his players. The Long Island native was an overlooked candidate for several head coaching openings over the years, but Marks was resolute in leaving no stone unturned by appointing Atkinson as the right man for the job. Now, I knew some of that, but not all of that. But it does give credit to him getting a Jordy Fernandez or a Joe Tsai. Basically, they having a rapport around the league before they got to the team. And they sorting them out to make sure they became a head coach. So it's like the same thing they did with Kenny Atkinson, they doing with Jordy Fernandez. But we're going to go to John first this time, then Iceman. How you feel about what I read?
I think it's an interesting comparison, Kenny to Jordy, because they both have that fire in their coaching styles. With Kenny, he never had a problem holding the guys accountable, and that's what made that little core that had a good run around the 2018 mark really efficient because he held them all accountable. I think what's unfortunate is when we got Steve Nash, he not only held nobody accountable, he even said he didn't even want to really coach this team. He just said he got happy to get the opportunity. Like, you do not ever want a coach like that, just happy to be there and lets the main guys run the damn show, because they ran the ship out the whole arena. So looking at Jordy, he's got a rapport. He was rated the top best assistant coach in the league. He's got an Olympic resume. He's definitely going to bring a fire to this team. He's definitely going to challenge guys to defensively work their butts off. But for me, it's going to be interesting to see how Jordy offensively gets his team to work, because he's got a defensive background. But if he can put offense and defense together with whoever this core is, I think we're going to see something really, really fun and amazing in Brooklyn basketball, man.
No, I appreciate that. Shout out to John. Salute.
Thanks,
Eskimo, talk to us, man. What you think about what I read?
Yeah, they trying to get that style, that vibe, that culture back, right?
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they got away from it, and hearing that is like, yeah, like Jordy could fit right back into that thing that they had with Atkinson, and let's get it started all over again. You know what I mean? So I feel like they trying to get it back right. You know what I mean? They made their mistakes, and they trying to figure it out. That's the way I see it.
Good points, man.
All right, that's a fact. We gonna keep it going. Shout out to John and Iceman for joining the panel. I really didn't want to read this book by myself. I keep it real with you. It goes among Atkinson notable assistant coach appointments, former Nets backup point guard Jock Vaughn joined the staff along with. I'm gonna just skip this whole Jock Vaughn part. I just got pissed off.
Yeah,
just now,
let's just.
I just got mad just now, man. I'm gonna just skip this whole part, bro. All right, so I'm dead ass serious too, bro. All right, so the next paragraph, bro, because I ain't reading nothing about no Jock Vaughn right now, bro. I'm so serious. It says a series of leg and foot injuries throughout Levert's college career saw his draft stock take a major hit. See, that's what I mean. Same thing with Levert. Same thing with Tariq Whitehead. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So I'm noticing a pattern. You know what I mean? So okay, a series of I read that, and then it says, and the top tier talent fell to the second half of the first round and into the Nets' lap via the trade with the Pacers. At just 28, Young was the team's second oldest player behind Lopez, and coincidentally, the team's second most productive scorer. Okay. Um, During 2016, free agency marks extended qualifying offers. Excuse me. Oh man, it gets bad, bro. It gets bad. During 2016, free agency marks extended qualifying offers to Portland's Allen. Let me take all the money I can. Crab and Miami's Tyler Johnson, with both franchises matching the Nets offer sheet. Yet both players will ultimately land in Brooklyn's roster in the seasons ahead. On 2016 NBA Draft Day, Marks sent his second round selection, Marcus Page, out of the University of North Carolina and cashed to Utah in exchange for seeing all the prolific scorer Isaiah Whitehead. I remember him too. The Nets had a glaring. He had a nice spin move, but anyways, the Nets had a glaring hole at the point guard position, and they set their sights on Jeremy Lin. I know y'all remember that. Whose improbable rise with the Knicks during the 2011-2012 campaign earned him the nickname Linsanity. Lin accepted a 3-year, $36 million contract to join Brooklyn. Marks dedicated the rest of free agency to inking unhireable veterans to team-friendly deals, including Trevor Booker, Randy Foye, and Louis Scola. And he signed seldom used three-point specialist Joe Harris, who spent 2 years riding the bench with the Cavs after they drafted him in the second round in 2014. Harris, I'm gonna skip this part. Hold on, let me get to the next thing. But basically, he's telling you how he rebuilt. He rebuilt by getting Paris. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like I just read. Shout out to Jamal in the comment. He said, "What up, fellas?" Eskimo, just say what up and just kind of give a quick commercial of your podcast real quick, and then we're gonna get back to it.
Yo, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Podcast is called The Tip Off. You know what I mean? Brooklyn Nets Podcast. And you can find me on Twitter at Iceman the Dawn. Holla at me.
All right, so yeah, that's what's good, Jamal, man. Sub up to the page, leave some comments. Know what I mean? We'll answer the questions. They ain't gotta be super chats. Super chats is appreciated, but I'm gonna still read your comment anyways. That's a fact. So basically, they talk about the rebuild with Karras, Harris, Dinwiddie, and I'm just skimming through it now. I'm not gonna read everything in here. We're gonna get to some other content too. But I just basically wanted to see what they considered a successful um rebuild. Let's see. Okay, the Nets' young nucleus of Levert, Dinwiddie, Harris, and Hollis Jefferson was coming into his own at Atkinson's green light offense, while veteran Booker, Lynn, and Lopez carried. Hold on, let me slow it down. I hope I ain't missed what they meant by green light offense because I was saying that, but I didn't coin it that term. But I did kind of, but not like that. I was saying that he was giving the ball to the hot hand. Whoever was nice, whoever was doing their thing, you know what I mean? That's who got the ball that game, that night. And for him to call it a green light offense, I know exactly what he meant because there was nights that Karras went off. There was nights when, you know what I mean? Then when he went off, Hollis Jefferson, him going off was like 14 to 18 points. I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't like a 20-point scorer or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so it goes in Atkinson's green light offense while veterans Booker, Lynn, and Lopez carry most of the scoring load. In fact, on April 10th, Lopez passed Buck Williams as the team's all-time leading scoring at 10,444 points with a 25-point effort against Boston, which that's good. That's good news. We did that against Boston. That's good. And then it said, which ironically would wound up being his final game in the Nets uniform. Damn. As soon as he just took the point, you just got all of the points like that, like for the team, and then like you lead, and then you leave. Like that hurt. That kind of hurt. Like you just here just to get that, and then dip. Like damn. I don't like that, man. Yo, stop treating us like that. Yo, we need players to treat this like home, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Just get a record and just leave like that. I didn't even know. I hope Cam Thomas break that record. That's a fact. That's a fact. I hope Cam Thomas break that 10,440 points. For 444 points record. Can Cam Thomas break that? I'm asking the chat. Do you? Matter of fact, I'm asking John and Eskimo too. Do y'all think Cam Thomas could break Lopez's record of 10,444 points?
I definitely think it's possible, especially if Cam continues to be focused, continues to play his style of basketball, but keep elevating the little parts of his game. It's definitely possible. I mean, he's definitely one of the best young scorers in the league right now. But we have to see just how invested Brooklyn management is in him as he's invested in them. That's what's going to come down to.
And I'm gonna piggyback off John because I think it really depends if he stays. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And no telling what they can do, what they will do with Cam, but he's a bucket. Everybody know he is just a pure scorer. So if he stays here that long enough, he can possibly break it. You know what I'm saying? He's capable of that type of, you know what I'm saying, that type of scoring and putting up those type of numbers.
Definitely.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact. Jamal says he follow up and says only if the Nets don't trade him and play him.
Ooh.
I agree, and I don't think they want to trade him. I think it. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you was to get a scorer like Cam Thomas in the free agency, you definitely gonna pay a player like that 40 million or some shit like that. I'm just throwing that number out there. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to pay him some type of bread. You know what I mean? So we might as well keep somebody who, which you can't get in free agency all the time, is more round. You know what I mean? Team players have a fondness to a team that drafted them. Like you just help them make their dream come true. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the advantage Cam Thomas has over a lot of free agents that might come here. And y'all make valid points about these draft picks that might come here and how they might be number one. But Sports in the comments says yes if he stays healthy. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think that could happen. I think that's what it is. Oh man, yo, BK and Wild Hoops, man. Did I throw the link in the chat?
Oh
Did I throw
man,
the link in the
listen.
chat?
I've given Thomas his props,
Yo.
but I always harp on him getting better as a playmaker. That's about it.
Yo, hold on. Every time Hoops pull up, he always tease you about how you be double talking on this page and that page about Cam Thomas, and we could get to it right now, man. Hold on. Sports said getting points it is never been Cam Thomas' problem. He needs to become a better overall player. Yeah, nah, but we're not talking about that, sports. We're talking about whether or not he could break the record of Brook Lopez of 10,444 points. Can Cam Thomas do that for the Brooklyn Nets? Most of the chat agree. Now, BKNY, I think Hoops is really stirring the pot. You know what I mean? You stirring the pot. You up here saying John saying this and that.
Yeah,
You
but
know
you
what I
want to know what
mean?
the truth is? He doesn't like undersized players. Trey Young, Cam Thomas. Every time these guys get brought up, comes like Dennis Schroeder. It's always we need above the rim players. That's what he believes in. That's it. But to say that I don't like Cam Thomas, that's not true, man. I like his offense really good. I do wish he could get better at certain parts of his game, but that's not a bad thing to ever harp on either. That's a good thing.
Hold on, yeah, nah, I'm with you on that, John. Claude Smith in the comments, I gave him a wrench. Gave Claude Smith a wrench. He says we shouldn't rule out trading CT. Let's see
Wow.
what next season bring. And I gave you a wrench, and I'm gonna let you keep that wrench. But this kind of talk right here, Claude Smith. Listen, I'm joking, but at the end of the day, my thing is, to my point, what player, what in history shows us that free agents going to come here and value playing here opposed to them focus on their contract? And let me give you context to what I'm saying to you. I was watching a podcast with Jeff T, and he asked another player, I forget whoever it was, what do you care about more in the NBA league, winning the championship or that big contract? The player said that big contract. Cam Thomas is telling the media, I ain't worried about no contract. We got a player solely prioritizing basketball over the contract. Knows the science behind it. Staying true to basketball is going to gravitate that contract to him. He don't have to chase the contract. The Brooklyn Nets are going to want to keep him and want to do business with him. He don't have to chase the contract because he's going to be the number one option on this team next season. You feel what I'm saying? So that being said, BKNY Hoops, bro, I threw the link in the chat. I ain't finna let you do that to John. I'm not letting you do that to John, man. Yo, shout to Easy. He said, yo, Easy, what's good, man? Yo, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that rebuild was basically Hollis Jefferson, and again, part of that rebuild is defense, because when you mention Hollis Jefferson, you talking about defense and rebounding. You ain't really talking about how you running up the scoring. And they was just talking about how Brook Lopez was doing most of the scoring. So when they talk about the players in the rebuild, they also bringing up the role players. They're not necessarily just bringing up the superstar in the Lopez. You feel what I'm saying? So that being said, a rebuild consists of more than just a superstar. So we should acknowledge right now with our rebuild how much we got without a superstar. And I would say to Nets press, because Dylan says this too, we got more of what we need for our rebuild already. We might be looking for one or two more dynamic players. I like the energy that a Cooper or a Dylan Harper could bring to the team, or an Ace Bailey or a Dylan Harper. Those three, those who on my Nets fan radar. That's who I'm, you know what I mean, hoping gets to the team. Either three of those players. Yeah, man. Look, Maria Signal calling you out, man. Telling you to join the panel. You talking spicy about John, man. Chill out.
Guy talking spicy about me for days, though, man. It's nothing new to me.
So hold on. So, Iceman, you be seeing some of this? Because Iceman is neutral in this. Is John keeping it real about Cam Thomas, or he on the fence? It's okay to be on the fence, man. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on, man. Iceman, you don't want to be in this? Iceman ain't got nothing to do with this. He said, yo, man, whatever going on with John, BK, and Wild Hoops, man, I ain't got nothing to do with it, man.
BK don't like small players, you know what I mean? He really is he's a above the rim guy. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? What John say about Cam, I'm not sure. But I know what BK be saying, though. You know what I mean?
For me, it doesn't matter if Tom's a starter and he play off the bench. If he's on this team scoring out, we're a good team. I know that for sure. Now, as far as his defensive shortcomings go, it's a hopefully different thing. But if he improves as a playmaker, nobody can deny that Thomas is going to be a really good player one day. He's got the scoring down pat, like we all keep talking about. But BK doesn't like Cam Thomas because of his height. He always wishes everybody on his team could be athletic players. But have you ever seen a team where everybody's an athletic player? I haven't.
Yeah, that don't happen.
Yeah, like they
Yeah,
don't just
right,
grow on trees for free. Like you
right,
gotta
right.
be
So,
fortunate to have one or two.
right. I don't. Again, I'm not necessarily bringing this up to start with you, BKY host, but you lost in a debate to me about Cam Thomas, so I don't know why you always be
Oh
doing it.
no, he said he beat
Like,
you in the debate, Breezy. He said you
bro,
couldn't handle it or something. That's what I keep hearing.
the malarkey.
Y'all
These
talking
shenanigans
spicy
I
right
won't
now.
have. You're not gonna be running around YouTube pretending that you beat me in the Cam Thomas debate. I mean, who you saying this to? The locker room? You going on your page in the locker room telling them that you beat me in the Cam Thomas debate? I'll debate you right now. I ain't got no notes or nothing like that. This is just all based on what I write. I know without Wikipedia and all of that other stuff like that. Like, bro, like we could get to it right now, bro. Like,
Y'all
stop.
trying, y'all want
Like,
some Swiss beat started up.
like Like, so I'm saying that to say you coming over here talking about John. Now you in it with me, and I beat
Oh,
you in the debate. Don't come up to nobody. Don't come up to this page talking spicy about anybody on why they in the panel. If they in the even if they in the chat, I'm gonna say something. Know why? Because when I go to your page, I don't do none of that. I show love to everybody. I say 5 words, and then you got all your Nets fan protectors stopping me from getting to you. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Like they not saying stop it, but they jumping into before I get to finish what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say that over here, bro, you just gonna get cooked, bro. I use canola oil. You ain't nothing you gonna do about it. Now,
ooh.
if you feel different, hit that link, bro. I'm not fan to do this with you. Like I said, I pulled up with a different type of energy, my brother. I pull up with a educational type of approach, trying to, you know what I mean, tell the fans about the Teaneck, the Brooklyn book, and we reading the chapter and all that. I wasn't even trying to cause pandemonium with the chat in the panel. Now, like I said, I'm just trying to have a conversation. But again, if you continue to to pull these type of things and make it seem like you want this debate, it's not true. This whole narrative about you saying that small players don't matter, it's not true, bro. And it's not like we got a small team. Cam Thomas wouldn't be have this narrative around him if we ain't have power forwards that's 6'7" and 6'8". They ain't got nothing to do with Cam Thomas. If the power forwards is the height they supposed to be at 6'9", 6'10", 6'8", 6'9", 6'9", 6'10", then you ain't got to worry about Cam Thomas being a 6'3" two guard. Like, small players been in this league and more competitive. I was just watching an interview with Avery Johnson and Mark Jackson. These guys 6 foot, and even though yeah, that's old times, and I credit that if that's part of your debate. But the truth is that the skill to be in the NBA, they had it. Mark Jackson and Avery Johnson. I'm not talking about Muggsy Bogues and Swell Webb. I'm not finna get crazy. I ain't talking about players that's 6 feet and under, because that's not the situation with Cam Thomas. He's 6'3". You talking like he's a 6 foot player, a 6'1" player, and he jumped high, probably to how you say, just knowing that he might be quote unquote a small player in the league. He makes up for that for how high he jumps. If you watch his game, you feel what I'm saying? If you really watch his game, but I don't know, man. I ain't finna do this with you right now, BK Wild Hopes. Like I said, if you want the smoke, I use canola oil, and bro, I got a motherfucking spatula. Don't make me flip something.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Yo,
saying? Don't pull up to this page trying to say nothing about nobody on the panel. I'll cook you for that. That's a fact. But we got my guy PSPN. I'm saying on the panel, he got a podcast. Before we get into anything, P, can you just give us a quick commercial? What you got going on?
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you for having me on this joint. Kitchen Sink. We at it Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and we talk about a little bit of everything. That's why we call it the Kitchen Sink, man. It's a platform where we promote positivity along with educating and having fun, man.
All right, that's what's up, man. Some yeah. So we was talking about the Nets, and you know what I mean. They went somewhere else, but we was basically talking about a rebuild mode. So I'll ask you the same question. Do you think that a rebuild is 3 seasons or more? How do you feel about it? How long it should take before we should
That's
contend
a
for a
that's
championship again?
that's a tough question, bro, for real. Cause like, like sometimes a rebuild could take 2 or 3 years. Sometimes that shit could take 7, 8 years. Like it's really no
I
time to put
rebuild the
on it.
right way. Rebuild, and yeah, as a fan perspective, though, what do you want to see far as expectations, far as a rebuilding the right way? And I'm asking in the context that I play Madden with you, and you say, "Oh, I love this GM shit." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm saying that to say, from that perspective, the GM loving the GM shit. Like, how long do you expect it to take realistically, in your opinion, just from that perspective?
I mean, again, bro, like it's a tough question because like it's all on the first year of knowing when you in rebuild mode. So like the GM can't be delusional and think, oh, we still got a chance at the eighth seed or the 10th seed in a play-in or something like that. Like if a GM got that kind of mentality, it's gonna take the rebuild longer because he's still gonna try to put pieces to the team that he thinks is going to make the team a better team immediately rather than trading away assets that's on the team for potential future picks. So that's the first thing right there. If Sean Marks is delusional at all about this season, then this could be longer than it should be. But if he realistically knows what's about to happen, then we need to be shipping away guys between now and the trade deadline to pick up some couple more pieces here and there. And we need that a top three pick, like I said before previously on your show. Like we need a top three pick, and it all starts from there. And we can't miss with that top three pick. Like if you miss with a top three pick, that can set your rebuild back a couple of years. Perfect example. Look at the Cleveland Cavaliers of a couple of years ago, right? When they had back-to-back number one picks with the dude Bennett from Canada and
Oh
Kyrie.
no.
They totally struck out with Bennett. And because they struck out with Bennett, they couldn't rebuild like how they wanted to. So that's when they kind of shifted gears on the fly, got Braun back, brought Kevin Love in there with Kyrie, and they kind of rebuilt that way, if that makes sense. So that's one way of doing
They
it, but
do.
that's a lot harder to do it that way. You got to hit on your first round, your top three pick.
All right, so
Yo, real quick.
before I'm gonna come back, yeah, we gonna go to you easy. Before we go get back to
Easy.
you, P. Before we get back to you, P, because I got a question for you. We gonna go to easy. Shout to easy again. Before you jump in the conversation, easy. Could you just give us a quick commercial and you know what I'm saying get to it?
Uh, yeah, you could find me on the greatest hood news channel you could ever find on YouTube. You feel me? The Hood CNN, NSB. You got to come see. Tune into my nigga Big Ox channel, Big Ox Media. We going live Mondays and Friday. We going up Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm only talking to y'all because that's what we talking about. We talking to the people. Show for the people, powered by the people. But back to the topic, right? Boom. Don't forget about that Cleveland situation. They got the number one pick again in the third year in a row with Andrew Wiggins. They just traded that nigga for Kevin Love. So they was bad for 3 years in a row, even with the heartbreak kid Kyrie Irving on the team. And we all know that nigga was a talent. The minute the nigga came into the league,
That's
but
a
it
fact.
don't.
Number
But
one pick.
number one pick, you already know he was nasty from Duke, even though he didn't play too much, but he was nasty. Coming to the league, they said he was a great shooter. Boom. Even then, it took 3 more years And even then, it took LeBron, arguably the greatest player ever, to come to the team to maximize and utilize Kyrie's talents. It when rebuilds, you could compare rebuilds to certain situations, but every rebuild is damn near built different. So don't just keep on looking at teams like we could do that, we could do this. When just like how my boy I don't know who just said it, but my man who was just talking just now.
That's PSPN. But
P,
he got the Kitchen Sink podcast. Go
shout out
ahead.
to the kitchen sink. Isn't that like a second analytics start like kitchen sink? I think there's a second analytics start. But aside from the point, but just like how you said, on the fly, LeBron came through, and then they made adjustments how it went. Every
So hold
rebuild is
on. Easy.
built different.
Let me say that. Let me say this to your point, bro. Again, Kevin Love made it to where LeBron can now focus on being the three. Now, when before Kevin Love, he had to play the 3 to 4. He had to do a lot and some more shit, right? So go ahead, Easy. I just wanted to say that. Just remember that though. That when Kevin Love came to the team, he let LeBron be the three, and that's what you know what I mean? They turned up for real. But go ahead, Easy.
But my thing is though, like even though like my thing is not even with like the LeBron and Kevin Love situation. My thing is more with like they were supposed to get Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was a #1 overall pick. So even then, like, let's put LeBron to the side. Let's just say LeBron don't come there. They were still bad. They got the #1 pick again. And there's no guarantee if you get Kyrie Irving and Andrew Wiggins on the team, you automatically contending and you shoot from fucking being a bottom team in the league to like an 8th seed or a 7th seed or a 6th seed or a 5th seed or a 4th seed, especially around that time too. Because even though we could say the East was weak, even around that time, those teams and that Cleveland team wasn't better than those teams in the East. So every rebuild is built different. All because you get talent on the team doesn't mean your window just opens up like a fucking window. Like it doesn't happen like that. Like, it does
It don't
not
open up
happen.
like a window. So if it don't open up, if it's a window, it don't open up like a window. Then how it open up then?
What I'm yeah, and that was a crazy line right there. I'll fuck myself up with that one too.
That was not a crazy line. Please say that shit again, Easy.
But
I'm saying, man.
But I'm saying though, all because the window's open doesn't mean the window is open. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me break it down real quick, right?
Please break it down.
All because you could amass the talent, you could get all these players from the top 1 players and all that shit from the drafts and shit like that. You could think Noah Clowney going to develop into something, Nick Claxton, Cam Thomas. All that might not amount to shit. You need certain things on your team to make it. So, like, when you say a rebuild, there's so much that goes into it. Even timing of the league goes into it. So, like,
Easy.
You put
Hold on. Let me give you.
real quick.
Go ahead. I gotta give you context.
Putting a time limit on this shit, for one, is not fair to any player or coach on this team. Period.
Bro, listen. I got it. This is what I'm trying to give you context. Again, you pulled up after I read from the book Teaneck to Brooklyn. In the book, it says rebuilding the right way. So I said, all right, that's cool. It said from 2016 to 2017 to 2018 to 2019. So that's where I get the window of 3 seasons. So I'm saying that to say, with what we got right now, I hear you saying it's easy to say, and it's hard to say, but I'm saying it based off of the circumstances. Now, in my opinion, I could trust Sean Marks late in the draft, late in the first round, and I don't disagree with you in PSPN. And we're going to Leaf after this. Shout to Leaf. That you could miss. But based on him not missing it late in the draft, Jalen Wilson, Nick Claxton, Cam Thomas, Dayron Sharp, in my opinion, those are all not misses. For him to have a lottery pick, I'm confident because of how well he did late in the draft. So I'm saying that to say,
you calling them niggas not misses. What have they contributed to?
Bro, can I finish? I know you wanna go. Just let me just finish. Again, that being said, in my opinion, those are not misses. He did well in the draft, and they doing far as what they draft pick is. We could talk about whether they meet the expectations of that draft pick or not. Do Cam Thomas meet the expectations of a 27th pick in the first round? Yes. To your point about Bennett and them not meeting their expectations as a first round draft pick. Now I'm saying that to say Cam Thomas do, Nick Claxton do, Dayron Sharp do, Jalen Wilson do for their expectations to be at the draft pick where we drafted them. That's and to give easy context so you know where I'm going with this. When he talked about rebuilding the right way, he talked about the coach first and Kenny Atkinson. Then he talked about the players. But he also mentioned the role players, not just the superstars. So I'm saying that to say, and from his perspective, through his lens, through this book, the correct rebuilding the right way started with the coach and Kenny Atkinson, Karis LeVert, Harris, Dinwiddie, Hollis Jefferson, Lopez, and I might be forgetting one player, but that's 4 or 5 players. Now I'm saying we got we got 3 solid players that we probably agreed that we rebuilding with right now. That's Clax Clowney and Cam Thomas. I would say we could say as Nets fans, we could say Jalen Wilson for
We
Trendon
don't know that.
Watford. I'm just saying what I'm saying, not what you're saying. I'm saying that Jalen Wilson, Trendon Watford, those 5 players that I think that we could build with. Now go ahead, Leaf. You could disagree, but I just wanted to finish my take before you
Real
disagree.
quick, real quick, Leaf. Before you go, real quick. My point was that you could get this talent, and it still might not be good enough. So putting a time limit on it is not fair.
No, we just going off of the window from the chapter. Remember, the context is from the book. It's from they give you 3 seasons from 2016. Oh, let me double check.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, Breeze, fuck that book. You know what I'm saying? Like respect to the book, but fuck that book. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you can't say how could you say fuck the book? Yo, again,
Yo,
you
Easy,
got
we're reading that
Damn,
book,
what
especially
I
with my
man.
pulled that
talking
for?
points
Nigga
and
said fuck
stronger than that.
books.
You know what? I'm
Especially with my
co-signing
talking points
everything
and
that Easy
stronger than
just
that.
said. Fuck the book. You know why? Because we.
I disagree.
Yo, see, that's the
I
problem with
You
niggas.
disagree.
know why? You know
Niggas is
why
in
I
here
say
talking
fuck
about
the
Y'all
fuck
book?
negative.
books.
You know why I say fuck the
That
book? Because we don't know if
that's
the
my
fucking
nigga.
book worked for us. That's why.
That's my
That's the
nigga.
Bro,
number
That's
that's a
my
2.
nigga.
lie. That's
We
a
we
lie.
don't we
That's
don't
my
know
dog.
that.
Then
That's
We
a
don't
you
know
lie.
want to
that.
hide something
We
from a
don't know
nigga?
that.
That's
Put it in the
a
book,
lie.
man.
We
That's
don't
a
know
lie.
that.
Yo,
Hold on,
No, it ain't a lie. No, it ain't a lie. It's true
That's a
because we don't know
answer.
if it
This a
worked
lie.
yet.
You
No,
Yes,
it
guys ain't
ain't.
playing
bro.
No, it
smart
ain't.
From
It's
when
the
football
Kenny,
truth.
from,
anymore.
No, it ain't.
hold on. Listen, hold on. Let me say what I'm saying. To debate the negativity from this next fan.
I mean,
I'm
that's not
basically
negativity. It's
saying that
truth.
when Kenny what's true about what you said? When I'm saying Kenny Atkinson from start to when he got here to the last season when he was here, there was progress in those seasons. So what's true about what the fuck y'all saying, opposed to what
What's
I just said?
progress? What's progress?
What's
Because
progress?
I keep on
What
I
you
keep
mean?
on
Winning
asking
more
this
games
Progress to
every
you.
season.
I
42
keep on
wins is
asking
progress to you.
I keep on asking this question. What's
From
progress?
a
What's the real
non-playoff team,
Four,
from a
what's the
42 wins
progress?
is
non-playoff team to
progress
a
to you.
playoff team, that's not
What's the
progress.
progress to
Y'all
a goal? What's the
ungrateful.
progress to a
Y'all
goal?
ungrateful, man.
What is
What
the
Y'all,
pro?
goal? Can you say
Nah. I
progress?
need
y'all
What's the
no.
ungrateful,
goal?
What's
man.
progress
Oh,
to you and the progress that you looking for? Because you keep saying
Progress
progress.
bro, hold
ain't
on.
Obviously,
Let
it
better
me
was
than
check, bro.
progress,
Let
that.
me
but the
answer the
progress
question.
that
Let
we
me
Niggas
looking
answer
won
the
for
good
ain't
question.
the
seasons.
Let
same.
Niggas
me,
don't win a
bro.
championship.
Bro,
Yo,
let me
Esco,
answer the question. Let me
niggas
answer
won
the
good
question.
seasons, 50-win seasons, but no chip with it. That's what niggas want, bro. They
Bro,
want a
that's
nice
no,
second
no,
round
bro.
exit.
Stop. Nah, don't. Listen,
At the
listen.
top of
Hold
this
on,
shit, niggas was
hold on.
screaming, "What's
I'm
our
not.
championship
Listen,
window?" He
listen,
had 3 years
listen,
to get 42
Yo, y'all
fucking
gotta
wins.
talk one
listen,
at a
listen.
time, yo. Let Breeze
Listen,
answer the
listen. This is
question,
what I'm
bro.
saying, bro. Exactly. You not authentic and asking me the question. You talking before I can even answer your question. So I'm saying I know you want to hear yourself talk, bro. You should go to the studio. You could fucking sing a song and fucking hear yourself on a playback, bro. Like, but you ain't gotta cut me off after you ask me a question. Remember, I just
Yo,
want you to
nah.
remember. Listen. I want you to remember that I'm not cutting you off. You're asking me a question and I'm ready to answer as soon as you ask it. If you don't ask me a question, Leaf, I'm not going to start talking because
That
that would
true
be
sting,
me
boy.
interrupting you, and I'm not going to do that. So if you don't want me to start saying something, don't ask me a question because I got an answer for your question. So again, Kenny Atkinson in the book, and I'm not saying
Interesting.
fuck the book. Y'all saying that. Shout the dude. I'm saying that they talk about Kenny Atkinson coming to the team to develop players, and that's what he did with Spencer and the numerous players. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they discuss it. So I'm saying they expect the same thing from a Jordy Fernandez. They brung in Juwan Howard to work with the young group because he was a college coach. They got Hetzel because of Trendon Watford. They got Corey Vincent because of Cam Thomas and Trendon Watford. They got a whole everything dedicated to rebuilding the right way is exactly what the Nets are doing right now. So y'all could feel the way that y'all feel, and I'm not saying don't feel that way. I'm saying that I see what they're doing. Hold on, we got somebody new on the panel. Y'all already know that Leaf is a regular. Before we go to Rob 77, who's new on the panel, we gotta go to Leaf. So he said what he said, but just give us a quick commercial before we go elsewhere. Um, Let them know where they can find you, and the next time you're gonna have content.
You ain't finished with the
Yeah, youtube.com/Lee4788. The season is finna start real soon. I'm gonna try to get as many of these fucked up games as possible. Um yeah, definitely. Lee4788 at youtube.com, man. Definitely. But I wanted to get into what Easy was talking about because I understand greatly what he was talking about. When he said
Yeah, but
just
y'all ain't gotta say fuck the book because y'all ain't even read the book. You know what I'm saying?
I,
No, I said respectfully, but like, yeah, but Breeze, like that, like Leaf is about to tap right into it, bro. Go ahead. I know you about to tap right into it. Go ahead, bro. But respectfully, fuck that book.
You don't even never read the book. How you
I'm
gonna
about to
research
tap
it?
right into it and actually
Fuck that
say
part
that
of the
that
book. Fuck that part.
it's a lot of things that go into us just getting it's a lot of things that just going into us just getting talent and becoming a successful team. First and foremost, we gotta ask ourselves, bro. Like, and I'm not asking the question to Breeze. I'm just asking the question out loud. Nobody don't gotta answer it. First thing that we gotta ask ourselves is like, who the fuck are we better than, my nigga, at this time next year? That's what we gotta ask ourselves. Washington, Charlotte, Detroit, the teams we was better than this past year. It's leaps and bounds, bro. Like, the order to get to that championship window that everybody was talking about in the 3-year time, we got to be leaps and bounds better than a whole lot of teams in this league. Leaps and bounds better than our competition. That, like, you can scout as many players that you want on your team as you want to get, but you also got to scout your comp. You also got to scout who you got to beat to get to this point and point A and point B and point C. You know what I mean? So the Eastern Conference as constructed right now is the Boston Celtics and pretty much everybody else. And that's not me glazing Boston at all, bro. But this is our comp. We got to pay more attention to just as much attention to our comp and as the niggas that we actually trying to get on this team and make
But
it work.
answer the question though, bro. You still.
What's the
What's a
question?
window to you? You want to disagree with me the whole time? What do you think is the appropriate window for what we have now, and what you know about what the Nets have with draft capital? What you think is how many seasons is going to take for us to contend again? In your opinion, I mean, it don't have to
5
be a
years.
long winded. I said 3. I didn't even say I was going to go last because we're going to go to Rob 77. I mean 777 after this.
All
But
right.
you know what I'm
My
saying?
my my
How many
my my
seasons?
my quick answer to the question is 5 years. The reason why I say 5 years is because look at the top talent that was drafted on some of these teams away from us,
All right,
bro, and
fuck
look
those
how
other
long it took
teams.
them to
Fuck those
take.
other teams. Did I say fuck the book?
All
Fuck
right,
those
fuck
other
them.
teams. I don't want to hear that part. Fuck those other
Fuck them
teams.
other teams. So we ain't following
Fuck
that
them other
motherfucker.
teams.
Yeah, fuck
Fuck
them.
them.
And
Fuck them. Fuck them.
respectfully.
Curry era. Curry. We gonna get to that. Curry era. He not even fucking with Golden State. He said 1 year, 62 mil, or what? Or what? Or I
Ooh,
leave.
that's
That's
big
what. We
news.
gonna get to that. Hold on. We gonna get to that because teams of the old is gonna be done. And it's gonna be new teams on the rise, and that's gonna be us. But we gonna go to Rob 777. Rob 777, talk to us. If you got a podcast, just give us a quick commercial where we can find your content. Then jump into the conversation, please.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, Breezy? I definitely got no podcast, no commercial needed. I just wanted to share my piece real quick because I don't know nothing about this book or what y'all talking about, but I definitely align with this idea of the 3-season window. And just to kind of explain what I mean is I think it's 3 seasons to get the ball rolling. All right, 5 seasons. Maybe you might feel 5 seasons is when we're really in that window to get the chip, but 3 seasons really is that number when the ball is finally rolling and we should be seen as a serious contender. All right, we're not gonna win shit in 3 seasons. That's just the realism of it. But this season we tank, right? Next season we have our generational prospect. They have their rookie season. All right, sophomore year of their season is when we should hopefully see them break out. Hopefully find out what pieces that we currently have right now is going to stick with them, who's going to go. Because like Breezy mentioned, we have some guys that should be able to stick on this roster in the future. These guys aren't some bums. Some of them might be. I'm not that strong on like Sharp, for example. I'm high on Clax, but he might end up being a bum. Who knows? But we got about 2 to 3 seasons to see if that's the case. And then from there, the ball's going to be rolling. And every year from there, we should be contending. Every year it should be like, all right, what did we do wrong? What do we need to add alongside this core of Ace or Coop, whoever it is, Cam Thomas. I really do think he's going to stick with this core unless he just can't fit with Cooper Flag or whoever we may get.
Right.
But the
See,
goal
to
right
me,
now
that's
is that
crazy.
Cam Thomas breaks out. Whoever we draft next year can
Yeah,
fit
but hold
alongside
on,
Cam
Rob.
Thomas.
Rob, y'all don't think that's a little disingenuous as a fan? Like this guy's just, and again, even at the draft pick that we get next season it makes Cam Thomas a number 2 option
Right.
go on the offensive side of the ball. Why y'all think it's to the extent where they automatically a rookie and they lead a team,
Oh
whether
no,
it's
they
Cooper
not. I'm
or
not saying
Ace?
that.
You
Oh,
don't
Because
hold on.
top
You don't
draft
think Cam
pick, because
Thomas
but
should
top,
have a
Ace
leadership
Bailey.
role? Hold on. You don't think Cam Thomas should have a leadership
Oh,
role
I
in
do.
that?
Oh, I do. But
Like,
the
two
leader
different
isn't
questions,
always the
Breeze.
best
That's two
player.
different questions, Breeze. Real talk.
okay. So my question to you, PSPN, and we're gonna go back to you, Rob, because I just want clarity on this because yeah, as a rookie, they're gonna have high expectations at the way we draft them, but. Is it fair to that draft pick to ask them to come and run the team,
Nah, they're not
especially
gonna
when we
have the
got a
keys.
vet like Cam Thomas on the team?
It-
We expect that.
It's realistic expectations across the history of all sports. Number 27 picks don't lead teams to championships. Lottery picks lead teams to championships.
Right,
But
but what
put it
he's
on their
saying
shoulders
is
their first
you can't
season.
give
That's
that
what I'm
rookie
saying. You putting
you
the
can't give
team on
the
their
rookie
shoulder
the
the
team.
first season. I don't know, bro. Like they first season, you put the team on their shoulders when we got a core players that been there. And again, we gotta see how they perform based on the chemistry that they gonna have going into their 4th season together. This is gonna be Clax, Dayron, Clax. Yeah, I mean Clax, Dayron, Cam, 4th season playing together, bro. So they gonna have some type of core, some type of chemistry. I don't think they just gonna be terrible. And I
Real
don't
quick,
think that
Breezy.
even if you're right, Pete, and he doesn't lead the team, that being a Cam Thomas, he ain't far from one. It ain't a far stretch from him 1 and 2. It's close. It's gonna
Real
be a
quick.
close 1-2. It's gonna be a duo, if anything. It ain't gonna be no he just lead the team and then Cam Thomas averaging 22. Nah, Cam Thomas finna average 25 for the rest of his career, in my opinion, in his
I
prime years.
don't.
And
Nah,
whoever this
Huh?
guy is, he
if
can't
we
lead
got a
out the
team
gate.
and Cam Thomas is averaging 25 points a game, we not winning, bro. It's not happening. Like perfect example.
Ooh,
Look at the
I
Spurs
disagree.
in the late 90s, early 2000s. How was that team built? It was built with a number 1 overall draft pick in Tim Duncan and 2 late first round dudes in Ginobili and Tony Parker. Nobody ever said that was Tony Parker's team. Nobody ever said that was Ginobili's team. Them boys was bad. Them boys did their thing, and they definitely helped Tim Duncan. But it was no confusion on who stirred the straw of that team.
That's why I'm about
But
to take
we ain't got Tim Duncan
Nah,
on
the
this
thing
team,
is,
bro. So like, what
Yeah,
you
we
think?
talking about Tim Duncan though. Like
nah,
we
Like we
but
talking
ain't
but
got
about
Tim
Tim
hold on,
Duncan.
hold on,
Duncan.
What I'm saying,
hold
what
on.
I'm saying is he was a number 1 overall pick. This is what I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
we ain't got.
If you
So
look
so
at
who you
sports, if you look
contrasting
at
to Tim
sports
Duncan? Who you think
all
could be Tim
across,
Duncan
or
in
in
this
sport,
draft, bro?
not
No,
just
but hit my
basketball,
thing,
not
right?
just
No, no, no,
basketball,
hold on,
not
hold on.
just
Let me ask
football,
Peters.
not just baseball, any sport.
Let me ask Peters. Who you think could be Tim Duncan in this next draft?
Who
Or
knows?
have the impact of Tim Duncan could be.
Who knows? Who knows? It's gonna be hard
They
to do
riding
it from
Cooper
jump
Flag like
because
crazy right
it's
now,
gonna be
bro.
hard to do it from jump because first and foremost, Tim Duncan stayed all 4 years at Wake Forest. So when he came out, he was polished. There was no learning curve. Not to mention, you threw him in behind one of the top 50 players of all time, David Robinson. So his learning curve is a total different. So I'm not saying this to let's say who in this draft is going to be Tim Duncan because that's ridiculous. There's no such thing as a 4-year senior that's going to be a number one overall pick ever again
That's
in
a
the
fact.
history of the NBA draft.
That's a
Right.
fact.
You were just using that as an example.
Never know.
Yeah,
But all I'm
that's
saying
that's what
is
I was
that
about to
he was
say.
the number one pick. It was his team. Like even though David Robinson was still in '97 when Tim Duncan got drafted, David Robinson knew it was Tim Duncan's team from now on.
But
And
okay,
the
so say
crazy
hold
thing
on, hold on,
about it,
EP.
hold on,
So
real quick.
Go
The
ahead.
crazy thing
Go
about it
ahead.
was 10 years earlier, David Robinson was a number one pick. So it's one
Thank
number
you.
one pick handed it over to another number one pick. We ain't
Thank
talking
you.
about no 27th pick. Talking about is his team. It ain't the
Yeah, but
27th
still,
pick's team. It was the other 25th team. It was
Let's stay
DeAndre
where you at.
Jordan's team.
Right, but let's stay where you at. The gap is 10 years with the Spurs situation. This is only a 4-year gap. This ain't the same. I'm
That was
saying,
one and one.
hold on. I'm
You
saying that to
comparing a
say
one and
that.
a
Hold on, hold on.
27.
Hold on. I'm
You
saying
give
that
Cam
I'm not.
Thomas too
I
much
know. I
credit,
hear.
bro.
Listen. I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, playing in their 10th season, going into their 11th season, they more want to hand over the torch opposed to hold the torch. It don't make sense. But
Yeah.
Cam Thomas, this situation, you can't contrast it the same exact way. It's not the exact equivalent because
But
that's not the
Cam Thomas
situation
got
with the year
Cam
gap.
Thomas got the keys to the car by default.
Hold on. It's not the
Nobody
same
ever
situation,
gave them to him. He got them
bro.
by
It's not.
default.
It's the year gap for one. It's going into the 4th season. That makes a huge difference. And
I
who's
hear
to
you.
say that Cooper or Ace is going to be prolific scorers like a Cam Thomas? Let's take it there.
Nobody's saying all of that either, bro. But to be the guy on the team, bro, you have to. If the organization doesn't believe in you from jump to give you the keys, it's kind of like you just went to a used car lot and just picked up whatever you could find and just roll with it until you could get something better. And that's
Bro,
essentially
they
what
have
Cam
Nah,
Thomas
KD and
is, bro.
Kyrie on the team, bro. Like this is a whole different.
nah.
It's a
P is speaking
context. You
facts
can't
though.
miss the context on it, bro. Like
Crazy.
I agree, they could have played them more in his first few seasons, but at the same time, don't
Can I
make it
ask you a
seem like
question
he
real quick?
walked into
That's quick.
Detroit and he Cade Cunningham and he walked in. That's not his situation. So I'm saying that to say, far as even in his draft class,
Can
those
I,
players in front of him, you think they got more potential of winning a championship before Cam Thomas?
Yo, it's
real
a
quick.
reason he slipped
Hold on.
that late, though. I keep trying to tell you that.
Nah,
It's a
but
Real quick.
reason.
P is speaking facts though. The thing
Can I?
is that rookie gotta earn the keys. He's not gonna get it off rip. I mean, look at Minnesota with Ant Edwards. Like, I think we all knew
Facts.
Edwards was gonna be the face of that organization. I mean, I think we were all over Cat, but Ant Edwards wasn't the number one option in his rookie year. He had to earn that. Now he is. I think just this past season he earned that.
Word.
So I think the point is, it don't matter if we get Coop, Ace, whoever this is, whatever their prospect is, they're not going to take the keys from Cam Thomas if Cam Thomas actually is a bucket this season, doesn't bust. Then next season, Cam Thomas is still going to be the guy, and it's up to that prospect to take the keys away from him to show, like, oh, nah, Coop really does have that talent. So then Coop got to earn that number one option spot. We can't just give that to a rookie off rip if Cam Thomas is out here hooping. You know what I'm saying? You can't just give that to a rookie if Cam Thomas
But
is hooping.
I
He
hear
got to
you there,
earn
but
that.
that's what rebuilding teams do, though. Rebuilding teams identify early on who they're gonna build around.
Right, we're
So
gonna build
it's up
around
to
whoever this
Sean
next
Marks to
season guy
figure out,
is, but
right,
you
like
want him to
this
earn it.
this year, nobody on this team right now is who we're building around.
Oh, I agree.
Whoever we
Don't get me
take,
wrong, I agree.
whoever we take next year in that top 3 pick, if we get one, like I hope we do, that's who we building this team around in the future.
But P, what I'm saying is I agree with you, but you can't give the rookie the keys off rip. Like, we're gonna build around him, but Cam
Ah,
Thomas is gonna be the guy that
I disagree on that because if you
I
look at any
disagree
of the
too.
greats, they got the keys off rip.
it didn't feel like Ant Edwards did though.
Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, he got the keys
Nah,
off
but
Rip
look,
Boy.
You
He
I
got
think
don't
the
but
know.
keys off. He took that shit. If anything,
Nah,
he
he
took them
took it.
fucking keys.
Yeah. He took. That's what I'm saying though. Edwards took it. It didn't feel like they gave it to him all rip though. He
But
took that shit.
if he puts himself in the position to take the fucking keys, that means the organization is in turn giving him the keys at the same time too.
Facts.
Yeah. But I'm saying like that's not gonna happen till like the sophomore year, in my opinion.
Usually it happens halfway through that rookie year.
Or
Normally it
halfway.
happens like right after the All-Star
Halfway
break,
through the rookie year.
All-Star break. You know what I'm saying?
I could agree with that too.
But
But I don't think we're gonna go into next season and they're just not gonna give Cam as many touches to the ball.
Can I just ask this question
Letting
real
it
quick?
out.
Just a
Go
quick
ahead,
question.
Easy.
Quick question to the panel, real quick. Who are the top 15 players in the league today, right now?
Ooh.
It don't matter which order you put them in. Just name out the top 15.
Hold on. We got Gat and AP on the panel. Shout out to Rob 777 for joining the panel. Got it on fire. So as
Shout out
the
to the
Kitchen
panel.
Sink podcast, PSPN. Shout out to Easy John the Eskimo. Gat and AP. They AP just got here, but we're gonna go to Gat first. You care to answer easy question, Gat?
You want me to not name y'all 15 players right now, top players?
Talk about
Top
15
yeah.
best,
I
easy.
mean, it's a
15
question to the
best.
panel, so I mean, if anybody want to jump in and throw their players out, but like I
Yeah,
ain't trying
but
to just
all
throw
right. So
like 15 on
we'll
one
I'll
start
probably
with
motherfucker.
find
You
Gat.
know what I'm
out.
saying?
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
probably
start
find
with Gat.
out.
I mean, we could do it.
We go.
Embiid, we go
Yeah, then we're
Embiid,
gonna go to
Joker,
AP. Yeah.
Giannis, Luca. We do Tatum, SGA. We could do I don't know if we gonna put LeBron in there. We gotta put LeBron in there. AD. I'll do what number? How many is that so far?
That's about 8 right
That's
there.
eight.
7,
That's
8.
eight.
That's
That's eight.
Okay.
8, right? I mean, if we gonna put Anthony Edwards in there, we could put him in there.
You can
We
put
could
him in there.
put Steph Curry in there. We
Okay.
could put
Top
we gonna
10.
put KD. We put
Okay.
how many is that? 10?
Booker.
That's 11.
Yeah.
It's 11
Booker.
for me. Fuck. Booker, yeah, we put Booker in there.
You
We
said
could put
Jokic?
You
yeah, I
say
said Jokic
Jokic.
already. Yeah, I said Jokic already. Who else we got? Let me think.
What about Embiid?
I said Embiid.
You say Embiid. You want to
Yeah,
throw
that was the
Kawhi in
top
there?
two.
Yeah, you gonna put
I
Jalen
mean,
Brunson in there?
Kawhi's a tricky one though, bro. Don't y'all think? I don't know, man. I feel like his spot be like like a DH nigga, like in baseball, like he just hits and shit like that. You really don't keep a whole full roster spot for him. I feel like, I mean,
Yeah.
when he
You
plays,
said
of course,
Jalen
we put him up
Brown?
there, but we can't be consistent on his ass. That's how I feel about him. You know what I mean? I don't put him in there, but if he plays, of course, we put him in there. But I don't
I
know,
put
bro.
Brown over Kawhi.
What about
Yeah, I
Jalen
would do that.
Brown?
Yeah, I'll definitely put James Brown on Kawhi. That's definitely a fact.
What about Jalen Brunson?
Mm, I mean, he had a great year, but I mean, you got to show me another year like that before you be a superstar.
Okay. Okay.
Facts.
How many is that? That's about 14.
No, that's
Yeah,
12 right there.
I mean that. Yeah,
12?
because I mean that's people that I feel like that could lead your team into where we want to be put at. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
do you put
oh,
you drop any of these
Hold
niggas on the
on. That's
team?
a strong 12, man. Hold on.
no, that was
That's a good
13.
pick.
That was
We not
13.
we
That was 13. We got two more.
13.
Anybody?
Right. We're
Anybody
not
got two
even
more?
debating you. Gat, you got it. We're gonna go
Yeah.
to AP. Two more players, top 15, man. You heard what Gat said. We ain't hear from you yet. Shout out to AP. Talk to us. Before you answer the question, just give us a quick commercial real quick. And Gat too, man. You too, Gat. We gonna Gat, just give us a quick commercial, then we're gonna go to AP.
I mean, I ain't gotta go worse. I got my coming out soon. We gonna do just straight betting. That's why I got me and Big Tone working on it. We doing straight gambling odds, parlays. We doing UFC. We doing basketball. We doing football, and
Let's
we
go.
doing just but we doing like more or less 5 for 100, 20 for 300. We gonna do like big prop bets. You know what I mean? Triple your bread. Do what you do. But we gonna wait for the season to start. We gonna get
What
more up
what
in that.
about what
So
about us? What about the $5 guys? What about me?
we said the final what?
$5 guys. Like what about somebody that just want to bet $5?
Oh yeah, no, of course, bro. All that parlay is gonna be good, but you gotta just tune in, bro, because
My $5
them
is
$5
good. My
parlays.
$5 is good.
Let me tell you what the money days is gonna be. When basketball season come and football season come, just make sure y'all tune in on a Saturday night for the Sunday parlays, because that's you gonna do your basketball and your football, and that's how you gonna triple your money. I promise you. $5 get you
All
at
right,
least a
copy
hundred.
that.
Dope
All
Copy
right,
shit.
that.
you already know.
Hold on. AP, talk to us. Give us a quick commercial. Then you know what I'm saying. Let us know 2 players that you think should be in the top 15 that Gat didn't mention. He named 13 already. Shout out to Gat. Talk to us, AP.
Ain't no commercials. Y'all know who it is, AP the Dawn. But let me say this. Why y'all naming 15 players again?
I'm gonna get to it, but I just want to hear the top 15 that everybody
I'm
think
gonna
will
just
be
throw
top 15.
no. I'm gonna just say 15, no particular order. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Joker, AD, um,
Giannis?
eh,
Gonna throw Giannis?
let me see. How much is that? 8?
That was 6 right there.
I damn. I
Jalen
would say
Brown.
SGA.
SGA. You want to throw Giannis?
Yeah, Giannis. I forgot about him. Giannis. I would say Kyrie Irving.
That's 9 right there.
Mm,
You said Luca.
damn, man. Oh yeah. Listen, I know this is a stretch, but I'm gonna say Wemby.
Okay.
Wow, rubber band man.
Who else?
That's 10 right
Fucking.
there.
I named Embiid already, right?
Yeah, you already threw Embiid out there.
Okay. Shit. Anthony
Ant-Man.
Edwards.
Yeah.
There we
That's 11.
go.
And that's 11.
I would say Jason Tatum.
12.
Dang, that's hard.
Booker.
Nah. I'm not even gonna put him in there yet. Who the fuck? Damn.
Yeah, I got this. I got this from John list. I can't lie to you. Donovan Mitchell.
Had to mention him, man. I had to mention. I know some.
Yeah, I
He tough.
don't.
He
That's
tough,
kind of.
man.
It's like, you know what I'm saying. It's like you splitting hairs here.
You got
I
Drew
would say.
Holiday as a top
I know.
15
I
No,
would
player?
say.
listen.
You know what?
Easy. I gotta explain. So
No,
listen,
no. Let
easy.
me.
As much as
Drew
Drew
Holiday
doesn't
is
get
a
enough
Ja
credit,
top
he's
12,
actually
bro.
done
Ja
well
Morant.
the past few years.
Ja
Ja
Morant?
Morant.
Okay,
Ja Morant.
that's 13.
Yeah, John Moran,
All
good
right,
pick.
2 more. Damn, this is hard. 2 more. Who the fuck is nice right now?
I put Dame Dollar over Drew Holiday, low key.
Damn.
He still
I'm
got
not
Reese
even
Barnes.
gonna
He could
do
throw
that.
Dame Dollar in there if he want to.
I
Crazy
could, but
work.
I'm trying to find like new upcoming players.
What about Bam? Y'all want to put Bam up there?
Nah, hell no. Let
What
me
about
see.
Halliburton?
Nah,
PG?
no defense.
Halliburton don't got it
We're
to
talking
me.
about top defenders. Bam is like top 5. About.
I will
PG?
put.
Facts.
I will put. Hold on. I will put Maxi and
14.
that's 14, and I will put
You want to throw Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brown. There we go.
Jalen Brown or Brunson?
Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown. Okay, that's
Yeah.
15 right there. Anybody else want to get in? Anybody else want to throw out their 15 real quick?
Oh,
I got
so
I got his 15. I got get 15.
yo, somebody driving, man. Be careful, man.
Yo, the only
Word.
person I'll throw in
That's
there that
me,
I
bro.
ain't
I'm
hear
about
his
to crash
name.
this motherfucker from all the bullshit
Nah,
I'm
don't
hearing.
crash the
No,
whip,
no, hold
man.
on, nigga, disrespecting my fucking quote, nigga. Don't crash the fucking whip, dog. God damn it, yo, real quick,
Fuck this whip, bro.
hold on, Esco, real
Oh,
quick.
Yo, hold on. Why
You
you
wanna
on
do?
such destructive path, man?
All right,
Wait,
No,
what
man.
happened?
Don't crash
easy,
the
easy.
Doing
whip.
Hold on.
doing a
Don't
team
push the
building
whip.
exercise.
You be throwing the toxic off, bro. Like,
Yo,
easy,
so
go ahead, bro. Don't lose it,
nobody
easy.
mentioned Paul
No,
George. I'm just curious.
I'm trying to make niggas stay on the road real quick, bro. I'm trying. Real quick, Esco,
Nobody
you wanna throw
mentioned
your
Paul
15?
George though.
Nah, I
nah.
throw out Paul George. Nobody
I,
put
I'm
him
throwing
up there.
Paul George in my top 15 because the nigga defend, man. A lot of these dudes y'all named don't play no defense.
Nah, Paul George
That's
ain't
why
the
I
same
mentioned
no
Drew
more.
Holiday, man. Holiday's
Paul
done really
George ain't
well
the
last
same
few
no more,
years.
man.
Paul George
Bucks,
been getting better
Celtics,
on
Man,
defense though,
underrated,
bro.
that
man.
nigga
He's
PG
underrated.
ain't been top 15 in 5 years, bro. Like,
Yeah,
man,
come
I'm
on,
moving
man.
on.
Yeah,
I,
he not the same, man.
you would say that, and I heard a nigga say he had Paul George in his top 5, top 10
What?
last year,
What
bro.
are
That's
you
And we
doing,
not
the
So
crazy.
I don't want to hear
Clippers?
hold
They
that,
up.
didn't even
bro.
make the
I
Easy, we're
don't
not
want to
gonna
finals,
hear
talk
that,
about
bro.
man.
him. Easy, we're
I don't
not
want to
Nah.
gonna
hear
talk
that,
about
bro.
him. I know who you talking about, but we ain't gonna speak his name on
Solid
here, bro.
scorer, but
That's
outside of
irrelevant.
that, you
But
can't
you
make
know
that
that's
argument.
but
Cause
Leaf,
no,
you
cause
you
right
already
now
know
we
that's
talking about some
bullshit
shit
because
that
you
we
already
know that's not true and that's not very important, bro. Like
Easy.
everybody up in here know he ain't top 10.
Facts.
Get to the point,
Yeah,
easy,
I don't
because
think he
we about to
fits.
go.
Come
Get
on,
to the
easy,
point.
bro. Get to the
all right,
come on. I need
Right,
you to get to the
right,
keys,
right.
bro. Come
Easy.
on.
Because after this, we're gonna talk about Steph Curry and how he only took that 1 year deal. So,
all right.
talk.
My point is, out of all the top 15 players that y'all niggas named and y'all would name out too, what What does Cam Thomas do better than all of them?
Ooh.
Bro, hold on. Just wait a goddamn minute.
Well,
We
I
never said
mean,
Cam Thomas. Hold on. We never said.
No. Because we keep on
Hold
talking
on.
about this little man, keep on trying to lead us to a chip. So what he doing is better than the top 15 players?
Yeah.
What
I
does
mean,
he
he
got over
shoot
them?
better.
Hold on. Let me
He
answer that
shoots
question.
better
Hold on. So
than
you said all
Giannis.
of the play.
He shoots
You said.
better
Go
than
ahead, AP.
Giannis.
Matter of fact, go ahead. Go ahead, AP.
He
I
shoots
don't
better
even
than
think they compare combo
Giannis.
though.
He shoots better than John Morant. He shoots better than let me see something.
Nah, it's crazy to compare
They don't have no jump shot. Yeah, I'm
right now.
not. Listen,
Bro,
I think it could be a number. I think number 3 on a winning team or a championship team.
Right.
So I'm not really saying he's a number 1 or anything. So, but we
Yeah,
do need him
but
though.
AP,
So
I keep on hearing
everybody's
he a
saying we
number
don't
one
need
and
him
he
is crazy.
leading us. But AP, I keep
No,
on
no.
hearing
What
he
we
a
were
number one
saying
and he
was
leading us somewhere.
that. But who the
Well,
fuck said he's number one
he's
though?
a number 1 current team right now. On the current team, he's the number 1.
Yeah, on the current
Like
right now.
everybody else, he's the only one. He's the
Hold
only
on.
one that could. He's the only one that could create his own shot.
Hold on.
that's a
Why
fact.
why y'all quiet? I just heard that just now.
Bro, I was waiting for AP to go. I was waiting for AP to finish. Talking about why
I
we
could
quiet.
tell you why they quiet because there's
Hold
a
on.
strong
Let me tell you
disconnect
what. Let
about
me tell you
Cam
what I was
Thomas
saying.
ceiling in this party,
Hold
bro.
on.
There's a
Hold
strong
on.
disconnect.
Hold on. Let me tell you. Let me answer your question, Easy. Since you taking it there, I never said Cam Thomas was a top 15 player in the league. Never. And on that note, the top 15 that I was discussing, if you might have misheard, I was talking about top 15 two guard. And I follow that up saying that on other pages I seen him a top 15 two guard. I had him as he could. I think that this season he could be a top 10 scorer in the league. I never went past that. So I'm just speaking the facts before the opinions. Now that being said, continuing the facts, Easy. I'm saying that next season he's going to be a number 1 option. We're going to be able to see who he should be a number 2 too, because the way y'all talk, anywhere he go on the other 29 teams, he should be a number 2 to all of these stars on the team. I don't know if I agree with you, Easy.
He
But
don't bring
that
enough to
being
the
said,
team to
this
be a
next
number
My
season
nigga,
we
two.
fit
I feel
in
like
hold
that's
up,
shape.
just
wait.
Hey,
weird
yo,
ass
Breezy, can I
disconnects that
chime
Ain't you?
in?
motherfuckers
Wait,
can't
hold up.
talk
Yo,
about.
Didn't you
Yo,
tell me?
man.
Wait a
hold
minute.
on.
Wait a minute. Time out. Didn't you tell me last week, bro, that Cam Thomas could only be a number 1 option on this team?
Who, me?
Can I
Didn't
chime
you say
in?
that?
Can
He's
I chime
speaking. He's
in?
speaking
Can I chime
about.
in,
He's
bro?
speaking about right now, though. He's speaking about right now. He's not
We
talking
talking
about.
about next season. What do you mean?
I just
Like,
want to, bro, I just want to chime in right quick. Listen, yo, shout out to everybody. Yo, I
go
only
ahead,
pulled
Harlem.
up,
Talk to us, Harlem.
Easy and Leaf. You two niggas specifically. Y'all talking some bullshit, bro. Listen, man, no more Cam Thomas fucking slander, man. That's all I came to say. I'm about to hop off. No more Cam Thomas slander. Yo, Leaf, nobody cares about your rants, bro. Stop the Cam Thomas slander, my nigga. The shit is ridiculous
Hold
at
on,
this
but look,
point, my nigga.
All I hear
back
is
It's
back
like,
to
ridiculous to
back,
use that
Yo,
phrase, bro. It's ridiculous.
bro,
Wait a minute.
hold up.
What the
I
fuck?
know this nigga didn't just come up in here, bro. He play both sides every time he fucking come up in here, bro. Stop that with that Nick shit, bro. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm in the car right now, bro. It's like y'all niggas gonna stop this
Oh,
shit.
damn, we
Y'all
to
ain't
the
gonna
car,
do this to
yo.
me.
Hold on.
Yo, you
that's
in
hype.
the fucking
Y'all not gonna do this to me today. That's not gonna happen. No.
Yo,
all right. So
chill. You on
back
road
to the
right now,
question though,
I
chill.
right?
wanna I
So
wanna know, what do niggas
hold,
think 25 points a game
Yo,
is?
that's funny.
hold on. 'Cause I'm
I
about to
guess. Go
yeah,
ahead.
but given the rookie team, it happens. And then I'm gonna take y'all back real far, right? Because there's 2 players I know, right? Carmelo. When Carmelo got drafted, the coach said before he even got to that team, he gonna teach y'all how to really hoop. So I hope y'all prepared for when he get here because he about to show
What's
y'all
on that
something.
team though?
It was his team, right? Darius Miles when he was on the Clippers, he got traded to Portland. When he got to the Cavs. Was it Cavs? The Cavs.
I mean, what
The
are
Before
Cavs.
LeBron
we listening
hold
on?
on.
What are we listening on?
Before LeBron got drafted, it was his team. You know what I mean? It was his team. He
All
even
right,
said
y'all
that. It was
naming
Wait. Can we ask? Can
lottery.
I ask
Y'all
a
It
naming
might have been
question?
Ricky.
lottery
It might have been
players.
Ricky
Y'all
Davis, bro.
naming
I don't know.
lottery players.
You said
Yo,
what?
who
Why
who
y'all
But
who
why
that's
on
the
y'all
that
point.
naming
next team?
lottery players?
Because when we go to the draft, they were saying you won't give, like, you know what I'm saying, if you get Cooper or Ace, you know what I mean, you wouldn't automatically give them the team. Like, it happens. If they're one of those players, they will get the
No,
team
I mean,
automatically.
Yo,
listen, they not gonna come out as as their team, but eventually it's gonna be their team. But as far as Cam Thomas, he could be a number 2 or 3 to a contending team. So
Well, I want to ask him a
I
question. Who
don't
was on that
know.
Carmelo
I
team?
don't know
Who was
what's
on
the
that Knicks
standard
team?
line.
You said what about Carmelo?
Who was on that Knicks team when Carmelo got drafted? You were like they gave him the team, but who was on that team?
Nah, that was Denver.
you talking about the Denver
You
Denver,
team?
mean
Denver, Denver.
Nah,
Nuggets?
I
You
know
mean
who was on
Nuggets?
that Denver team. That was Marcus Camby, Nene. They had
Andre,
Yarborough. They
Quentin
had
Rye on that team is what I
Yo,
meant.
hold on.
Yeah,
Andre.
they had no offensive power, so
No, they had no
you
offensive
can be
firepower
like
at all. Carmelo
the
was the number
leading
one
person.
option right away.
Hey,
Yeah,
All
because
right,
but
it
that
sounds
hold
like
on, y'all. Hold on. I just don't. Again, I'm loving the
Carmelo,
conversation.
Carmelo went to if
They had
Carmelo
Trick
went to the
AI.
Pistons, then
Yeah,
even though
hold on.
they was
AP,
a championship team,
AP,
they would have
AP, he
been
going
AP,
Megatron right
AP.
now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, AP. I don't know. Your voice, your audio just coming in kind of crazy right now. But just maybe all you gotta do sometimes is just come out the studio and then come right back in the studio, and that works.
She on
I
Wi-Fi.
just
Get
wanted
on
to kind of
Wi-Fi.
change lanes again because I know y'all not going to agree with me about Cam Thomas, and that's fine. I think that going into next season is going to prove a lot of what Breezy Damas is saying, like Nostradamus. You know what I mean? I just know the game. Now that
This
being
nigga
said, we're
does
not
not
gonna
just
go
say
on. Now,
Breezy Damas, bro.
hold on. We're not, we're
Nah,
not
I'm
finna
not
do
letting
that
that
right
go,
now.
bro. Fuck
Hold on,
that, you
no,
know.
hold on. Now, actually, we actually going to leave first. We're gonna start with the Steph Curry conversation. I want to ask Leaf 2 questions. First, what do you think about Curry taking a 1 year deal? Second, it's a 2 part question. Do you think the reign of the Warriors is over? We're gonna start with
ooh.
Leaf, and then we're gonna go around a pin. I want to go to PSP next, and then we'll figure it out from there. Go ahead, Leaf.
Well, the reign of the Warriors been over. So to answer your first question, and number two, I think this is one of those I'm sorry contracts from the front office. Basically, like, that's just the front office and everybody upstairs saying, "Hey, Steph, man, we apologize for what happened to Clay and what happened to Draymond in that situation. Hey, here goes $60-something million, bro. Like, hey, man, listen, you've been nothing but good to us. You helped turn this franchise. You've been a leading stake in turning this franchise into an 8.5 billion conglomerate. That franchise is worth $8.5 billion as of right now, and by the time Steph leaves, it's probably going to go down tremendously, because before Steph started going on the all-time shooting spree that he went on, and the championships that he went on, that team was probably worth maybe $600 million, bro, when they drafted Steph, and now they're an $8.5 billion conglomerate. This is basically the front office just saying, bro, hey, we sorry about Bob Myers, man. We sorry about Klay Thompson. We sorry about Kevin Durant, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's the end of the road. Obviously, Steph felt some type of way about not finishing his career with Klay Thompson, and I'm pretty sure Draymond probably felt a little bit away too. But at the end of the day, the front office is going to get the blame. Bob Myers is not, because he bailed out of there before the demolition even started. So um, it's a possibility that you might see Steph in one more destination before he leaves this league. Where that's going to be, who knows? But that's it. To me, it just seemed like a Steph, we sorry contract. Here goes 60 mil.
Ooh, interesting.
Yo, 62.6 million.
Nigga,
All in a
yo,
day's work.
when I seen that
Right,
shit, bro,
Easy?
nigga, I damn near almost dropped the fucking phone, bro. Like, I was at
Nigga, I
work,
almost dropped the fucking phone just now. The phone and the spliff,
nigga.
bro.
That nigga,
God damn,
that's
boy.
more than niggas were making 4 years, nigga. Like, nigga,
That's in
60 mil.
1 year. That's 1 year.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. Seeing this contract right here, cause they saying it extends through the 2026-2027 season.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
this
lie.
is
This
just a
shit.
1 year deal.
And Steph is a paid nigga, bro. Like, that's all I can
Nah,
say.
Now,
I'm
listen,
ju-
let's
I'm
be
ju- I'm
honest.
just
Steph reminded everybody in the Olympics just who the hell he is, man. And while the Warriors championship might be over, ain't over for Curry, man. I see championship number 5 if he decides to, take his business
I'm
elsewhere.
not gonna
He
lie
still
though.
got it.
I'm not gonna lie though. This shit get me fake scared though. I think this nigga might retire, man.
Nah,
Who?
but yo, if you
You
think
think he
about
might?
it, so like,
You think he
it's
might
not.
retire
Nah, nah. It's an
after
extension. He
27?
had a
It's an
it's
extension.
a
That's what
three.
everybody keep
It's
like
really
not realizing.
3 years. It's really 3 years. He had like
He had
a
2
year
years
left in the
left. He
player
had 2 years
option.
left, and now
2
it's the
years
third
Yeah,
left
year.
on
a
this
year
year.
left in the player option, and that was 3 years.
And now it's
So
now
yeah,
it's 3. Yeah.
So they gave him an extra year with that 62 mil. And the reason they did it is plain and simple. All the talk that was going on about him and Braun. That's all we heard after the
Fact.
Olympics. That's
it's
all
not
it
even
did.
that.
And to
Like
me, and to me,
same
I
with
think it is
LeBron.
that.
and to
Same
I
with
think
me,
it is
LeBron.
that.
let me
Same
finish.
with
Let me finish.
LeBron.
Let
It
me
cost
finish.
them. God,
He didn't even finish. Let me finish. To Lee's
Yeah,
point,
go ahead,
he
PSPN.
grew this organization financially. When the current ownership of this team bought this team back in 2010, 2011, whatever it was, they paid $800 million for this team. Do you know they are now the second most valuable American
nah,
sports
we heard that
franchise
part already. We heard
Talk
that
that
part
behind
shit,
already.
P. Let him finish. Go ahead, P.
they the second most valuable franchise behind only the Dallas Cowboys. They done passed the fucking Yankees in terms of total value. That's why they did the shit to hold on to their cash cow. I literally just came back from the Bay a couple days ago. All you see is Steph Curry jerseys. It ain't even basketball season. Ain't nobody wearing no 49ers jerseys. Ain't nobody wearing no Giants jerseys. Ain't nobody wearing no Oakland A's jerseys. None of that shit. It's Steph Curry. So
The A's is about to move to
they
Vegas, by the way.
protecting their legacy financially by doing that deal because they can't have their baby face golden boy bounce and go someplace else and win. That destroys their legacy. Even if they lose and they keep him around, they still selling jerseys, they still selling out arenas. And that's what this is all about at the bottom line. At the end of the
But
day,
hold
it's a
on.
business, man.
Yeah, no. Also speak to the culture of Curry and what he did for the day. Basically, like all the Curry jerseys and just that part of it, and
Like I
the
said,
fan base.
you
And
can't walk a block without seeing two or three of them shits. I just came back on Sunday.
It's more about the money. Cause same with LeBron, they're not gonna let
100%.
LeBron go. Even though the Lakers not gonna win a championship, LeBron is valuable. He makes more for the team than what they pay him, so they're gonna keep
Exactly.
him regardless.
That $62 million investment that they just dropped today, they're gonna make tenfold.
no doubt, yo, shout to P, man. You was out here cooking, man. Shout to Easy. I think we heard from AP, we heard from Leaf. Cap just joined the panel. We talking about Curry and his contract and what it means for the Golden State Warriors. So it's a two-part question. Cap, shout to Cap. You could give us a quick commercial, or you could jump into the content. It's on you.
Yeah,
How
what's
do you
up?
feel about Curry getting that contract? And do you think that the Warriors' reign is over? It's a team, you know what I mean, falling from grace. Just in your opinion, how do you feel about what's going on?
I think they're definitely a team in the decline. I think unless Kaminga like really shows something that we haven't seen yet, but I think they're a team in decline. And I think that you know, yeah, he is such a iconic figure that you do give him. I mean, he's got to get the money that he's getting. But remember, that year is for um 2 years from now, right? That 62 is from 2 years from now, right? Because he's still finishing up the rest, this year, next year's deal, right? So,
Right.
but anyway, I was gonna say, but the thing that kind of is alarming to me is just like say like with him and LeBron both, right? They both almost 40, and they're both still very productive. But at what point do they reach that point where you stop giving them raises? You know what I mean? Because it's not so much that they don't deserve it, that they're not iconic, and that they, like what someone just said, they return on their investment and everything. But the problem is really that so many people underneath them that might have the same production or close to the same production, but not the same iconic status. It's like they're not worth anywhere near 60 something million, so it's like I think the league is almost headed to a place where there's gonna be a lockout in a while.
Ooh,
I think because the money is going up so much that, like, when you look at Steph and he's gonna make 60 something million, or you look at those two Boston boys and they're making what they're making, it's like they're almost making like they're gonna be making like almost like 35% of the whole salary cap. So you're just gonna end up with a lot of teams like with one or two stars and a bunch of guys on minimum contracts. And I'm like, well, how does that really help the balance of the league? Like, I don't really think that that's a good thing, you know?
Right.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be like that because David Stern made it like that in the '90s when it was Michael Jordan and the Bulls versus Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. And the money gonna keep going up as long as the TV money keep going up. This new deal that they just signed, a new media deal that the NBA just signed with
72
Amazon
billion.
and NBC and all of that shit, it's ridiculous money. So as long as that keeps going up, the salaries is gonna go up, and the stars' salaries is the ones that's gonna go up because that's why people is changing the channel or changing their streaming device and going to watch the games for people like Steph, for people like Braun. Think about it like this, right? All of us got a job where it's a nigga on our job who been there forever, and he making more than everybody else, but the nigga don't do as much work as everybody else. It's the same thing.
Right.
Yo, hold on. On that note, they also grouped together a new app called the Gotham City or some shit, where you can watch the Knicks, Nets, Yankees, all the New York sport teams. Like they
Yeah.
don't have the Yes Network no more, MSG Network. They combine and now they a merger. So
Well, did y'all
basically,
see?
Where you see
Did
that
y'all
at?
see that the federal
that,
court put
I
a
seen it
stop
on Twitter.
to
I
that
seen it on
wild,
Twitter.
crazy shit they was
Wait,
trying to do?
is that confirmed? I never heard of that.
I would believe so. I mean, y'all could double check it. I'm right here on stream. Y'all either gonna see I'm the truth or expose me. So it is what it
Bro,
is.
the federal government put a stop to that one stop streaming for all sports shit. They blocked that shit like last week or 2 weeks
Oh, you
ago.
talking about streamies? You
No.
talking about streamies?
Yeah, because they was trying to. So basically, what was
Shout
trying
out
to
to
happen?
streamers.
I don't know if y'all saw this, but like all of the big boys say, "Yo, we just gonna all get down together and block everybody out, like block all the local networks and all that shit out."
That
So like
that happened
Yo,
ESPN,
after
Breeze.
LeBron. Remember
it was
LeBron got called a
ESPN.
streamers?
Yo,
It
Breeze.
was a
I was
bunch
gonna
of
make
all
that
of
a
the big
topic too.
streaming companies, and they basically Fubo. Y'all heard of Fubo? They put a motion into the federal court to say this shit is unfair. They basically trying to start a monopoly to block everybody else out. And the federal court said, nah, we ain't doing this shit. And they blocked it.
Yeah, I know the price. I know the price that Breezy's talking about. That thing is ridiculous, man. You might as well be having season tickets, man.
Facts.
Facts, man.
$41 a month, man. That's crazy.
That's a ripoff, man. Especially for people that are not making a lot of money, man. How you can afford streaming? It feels like a
And you know
ripoff.
what that does? That really is just gonna drive out people. Because even the fact that you gotta wait all the way till Christmas to see a free game, to see a non-cable game, that hurts the product. To me, it's been hurting the product. And then if you
Nah,
really
you don't
look at,
you don't gotta wait to Christmas. It's NBC
Now,
games.
NBC
That's
back.
when a new TV deal. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
NBC back.
but
and
that's not
LBL
okay.
and
All right.
LBL to answer your question about how the middle guys are kind of getting shafted. You look at Lonnie Walker, for instance. People thought he was going to make at least above the minimum of
no, they
the mid
didn't.
level
No, they didn't,
section,
John. No,
and
they
he was
didn't,
forced to
John.
take an
John,
exhibit
no, they
Well,
pay
well,
didn't,
here.
I'll
John.
say this.
No, they
You know
didn't,
what?
John.
You know what
No,
probably
there was some talks about
precipitated.
it.
You know,
That's your proposition. That wasn't happening. Like,
I
but
mean,
you know,
Lonnie's
you
not
know
a
what,
bad scorer
you
though,
know
AP.
what
I
probably
mean,
happened with the salary cap.
he's always injured.
But you know what
Yeah.
probably happened with the salary cap really is when you look at it, they probably had an imbalance. Because remember when we had what's that dude? What's that dude that was from New Orleans? What's his name? Garrett something or something like that. I'm trying to think. A
Garrett
guard, you
Temple?
know?
Garrett
Garrett
Temple.
Temple?
Yeah, Garrett Temple. You had so few guys like him that were either VPs or reps, and you had more star players. And when you have like Chris Paul and you had Jaylen Brown and you had Kyrie and you have all of these star guys, they're looking out for the stars without really thinking about, the other 350 players. And it's like all of them 350 players are getting squeezed out of money because KD wants to make 60 million, or because Jason Tatum wants to make 70 million. Or nothing wrong with getting as much as you can for as long as you can, but I'm just saying there's something where they weren't really looking out for them guys,
Right. What
And
would you say with
I've seen this whole tide turn because back a long time ago. Obviously, I'm an old dude, but back a long time ago, what they used to do with the draft was the thing that set the salary cap. So they went and paid like stiffs like Sean Bradley, like top dollar because he was the number one pick. And then when Ewing and all of them were the vice presidents and all that stuff, they went in and they changed it. They said, nah, we're going to put a rookie salary cap on because these rookies are coming in unproven and they're making more than veterans who've been there 10 years. But now we have a situation where, yeah, guys, they have the rookie salary cap, but I'm saying look all around the league based on the guys who come off of their rookie contracts. Now, those guys that come off of their rookie contracts are making they're making max deals, but they haven't really proven themselves. You know what I'm saying?
what
They're
would you
basing
say
it on
with
potential.
what would you say with Brunson taking a pay cut that he's trying to send a different message to the Young Stars League, saying if you want to win a championship, you shouldn't always think about the bag. Instead, think about what's going to get my team a few inches further to a title than just the first round, second round. Because my main guy got all
Nah,
that
I
money.
don't think he's sending. I think he's just looking out for his buddies, and we don't
Mm-hmm.
know whether his dad is getting money underneath the table.
Yeah, it's definitely
Ooh,
some under the
that's
table action
interesting.
because you got to understand who he is, who his dad is tied to the organization,
Right.
who the president of the organization is, who used to run the agency that he is signed to. So that shit is all collusion. So trust me, he ain't taking a loss.
But see,
Wow.
one of the things that I'm looking at, and I know people keep saying, because I keep bringing up some of these same players' names, and I'm saying, not to say that they're not good players, like Scotty Barnes and OG Ananobi and the what's the Cade Cunningham, but they're making so much freaking money
Yeah,
without having
200
really done anything yet. You
yeah,
know what I'm
200
saying?
mil. These dudes is getting
Yeah.
$200
And they
contract.
haven't really done anything yet, and it's squeezing
What
out other people who are just as productive. You
what
know,
basketball need to do, in my opinion, is they need to follow the leader when it comes to rookie contracts and stuff like that. They did it already kind of with football because football did it first with the rookie scale. What I think they need to do, and they probably won't, is they need to take a page from baseball and they need to have arbitration years. So if nobody is familiar with how the baseball contract situations work, you sign to your deal as a you get drafted and you play through the minor leagues and the team has your rights until that contract is up. Now, you could be a dude who signed let's say a 6-year deal for $40 million.
hmm
And you get through the minor leagues in a year and a half, 2 years, and now you in the major leagues still playing on that same deal.
hmm
Once your deal is up, so let's say now perfect example, Juan Soto. Juan Soto had 3 years. Every player has 3 years that they have to go through this process called arbitration.
sure.
During this process, basically what happens is it's 3 1-year deals, and you get the amount based on similar to the NFL with franchising, like the top percentage of whatever position you play based on. So,
And the
like for the
market
past
value,
couple of
yeah.
years, right? So the past couple of years, Juan Soto has been playing on 3 1-year deals, which is why he went from Washington to San Diego to the Yankees because the teams didn't have control of him and they wanted to get something for him before they lost him.
hmm
So now Soto basically had to go 3 more years. So instead of getting his big payday at 23, he gonna get his big payday at 26 after he put 3 more years of work in, showing that it ain't no fluke. And now the Yankees gonna have to back the Brinks truck up to sign this
hmm
dude. We probably talking no bullshit, probably 10 years, 600, 700 million.
Yeah.
That's what the NBA needs to do. Like, come in there because now, guess what? If after your 4-year rookie contract is up, your 5th year, you suck. Now your 6th year, I don't still owe you 30 million a year. Now maybe I could get you for 12 million for that next year because you suck.
Ooh.
And one other thing that I don't like about the NBA thing is that, and I don't know how the players agreed to this, how the union agreed to this, but your stuff shouldn't be. And see, the thing about what you're saying with the MLB is it's based on their production and the market value, but in the NBA it's based on whether you make all NBA teams and stuff, and
Yeah, yeah.
that stuff that's not voted. I could understand it if it was just voted on by players and coaches, but it's part of, like Stephen A. Smith got to say in what your salary will be if he got to vote for that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and that's some sucker shit for real.
That's what I'm saying. That's not good. That's not good because you'll see that there are certain people in the media, and if you're a guy that is not really a big media guy and stuff, like what he was saying about Jaylen Brown, right?
Yep.
Then you're gonna always get harmed when it comes to, oh, I don't tiptoe around with the media and this and that. And look at how they came down on Kyrie for not wanting to take the jab. And I'm saying, and it's funny because all that same time that he didn't want to take the jab and stuff, it was just the fact that he lived in New York and he was in a high profile situation like this because Bradley Beal didn't take it either.
Right. It was a lot of
And
people
he
who
didn't.
did.
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
a
and
whole
he
bunch
didn't,
of
and he didn't
people.
get penalized at all by the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't even you know what I'm saying, the NBA penalizing him. That was more the city of New York because Eric Adams put that mandate in,
Yeah,
basically saying anybody that worked in the city had to be vaccinated in
yeah.
a public workplace. So that definitely was a timing thing. Like if he was still in
Well,
Cleveland,
yeah.
if he
The
was
only the
anywhere
only
else,
the only
he wouldn't worry
caveat to
about it.
that is, like, it should have showed us whose side was when they said, well, if you ain't gonna be able to play home games, we're not gonna play you on the road either, which was stupid.
Yeah, Joe side, man, he's a puppet, man.
You thought that was a bad move?
Definitely, it cost us games.
Yeah, it cost us a lot, man. It
They
cost
should have figured
honestly,
out
it
the
cost us
contract
it
situation with
cost us
Kyrie before it got
the
so damn
franchise. If
bad,
you really
man.
think about
They
it,
waited
shit
too
cost us
long
a franchise.
for that to break apart. They waited too long.
And see, the thing that they hate is that regardless of who they are, like whether it's Kyrie or it's Jaylen Brown, them dudes is loved within the league, though.
Yeah,
They love within the fraternity of the basketball players, and they, as much as they try to demonize them, there's nothing they could do when them players see that their real heart is in there, and they've established those relationships. You look at a game after Kyrie plays, man, all of them opposing players are hugging them. All of them
yep.
are trading jerseys with them. They love that dude.
We don't
Yeah, but
recognize real.
but not to disagree with y'all too much, but at the same time, Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown they not big star players. They not gonna get that money because they don't sell out arenas. Niggas don't go to the arena to go see Jaylen Brown. Niggas don't go to the arena to go see Kyrie Irving.
Oh, you
Nah,
Yeah,
can't
nah,
say that about Kyrie. You
basketball
can't
Yeah,
say
players
that
Jaylen
about
Brown
Kyrie.
performed well in
Hold
the
on,
NBA
hold
Finals
on,
and he
hold on.
outmatched Tatum. Like
That's
that was
fine.
huge.
Okay, that was good. And but what did Jaylen Brown just get paid before that though? Big
He
money,
got
right?
paid the most money in the
He
league,
got
I
big.
think. I
All
think he got
right,
the
so
highest
now
contract for a basketball
exactly.
player ever.
That's just because the market it was that. Do we agree? He got that money because the market was set at that high at that time. That's what y'all said, right? So
Yeah, that's
now think of
basically that's sports nowadays.
yeah. So
Look
now
at look at
that's what I'm
look
trying to
at
tell y'all.
CD Lamb. You ain't no way
Look,
in hell you can tell me CD Lamb the second best wide receiver in football, but he got the
okay,
second highest contract.
but now look, let's go back to what we was talking about just now. We was talking about you say Kyrie Irving and Jaylen Brown is smashed by the media. They not like Steph Curry's, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. We agree like that, right? They like a tier they a tier below that. Now, if you looking at a franchise like even Lady LeBron, we now us agreeing we don't think LeBron James is worth every single penny on the dollar as his gameplay, his game, just his game alone. We talking about that. As
No,
far as LeBron James going to a stadium, selling out an arena,
yeah,
niggas will
Oh
pay
yeah,
that. Niggas will pay that triple what he got paid just to sell out the floor. So now,
yeah. So
Oh, you
what's
cut
what?
out
get
So
what
what are
for
you're
you
worth.
saying? What's
If
your
the
what's
media
your
don't like
point?
you and you don't sell out arenas,
Mhm.
you don't sell your jerseys, you don't have merch, you know. So the Kyrie Irving situations and the Jaylen Brown, they're not always out there with the media. The kids don't really gravitate to them, so they're not going to get paid the $65 million like Steph Curry. They're not going to get the LeBron James monies. They're not going to get the Kevin Durant's money because of their base. So the people are going to still get their money depending on how contracts are based because of incentives. Because, like you said, the NBA doesn't vote for all NBA teams. It's matter based on Stephen A. Smith and what the media likes and what sells seats and what's good for the commercials and what's good for that. So that's why it's fucked up that's what it is. But that's how the game go, bro. If your money,
And you know,
your brand is worth money, you're gonna get paid.
Well, here's a good question. Should LeBron? Well, here's a good question. Since LeBron's kind of like a millionaire, billionaire type figure already, he could have taken a pay cut this season to help the Lakers make more moves, but instead his
100%.
contract hard capped him the first apron, so they haven't been able to make any moves because of that. Do you think that was a mistake on the Lakers' part to do that?
It's different.
You ain't take
When
less money.
LeBron's already a self-made man.
Nah, it's not a mistake on their part because at the end of the day, like you got to really think about it like this. At the end of the year, it's one team that's going to be holding that trophy. So yeah, as fans, we expect the organization to go all out for that trophy, but they don't give a fuck about that. They give a fuck about profit because this is business.
Yeah, that's why the Knicks are like, over the last, ever since Riley, they're one of the highest valued franchises anywhere. Even all them Dolan years when they were trash and everything, they were still making hand over fist money just because they're that franchise.
Yo,
Just
if I give you, think about it, if I give you $50 and you bring back 500, that's a hell of an investment.
Yeah. But
That's all I'm
Jonathan,
saying.
one of the things that I don't want you to get caught up in is and that's the problem with the Brunson. That's the problem with the Brunson narrative is now you're asking a player to sacrifice money that's hard earned, that he earned. Like LeBron, you're saying, oh, well, if you cared about winning, you would give back money. The owners ain't giving back no money.
Nope.
So
Well, I'm just saying because you think about it, LeBron got what $50 million salary this season. They're hard capped because they could have made moves to get a third star to pair with Davis.
Actually, they said that he took about $3 million less.
Yeah, he took $3 million less. Yeah.
Now that $3 million is going to get who? Lonnie
not
Walker.
much.
Probably Lonnie Walker, right? But I'm saying at the same time, you shouldn't always because the one thing because even though I'm talking about they getting this much and these some of these players are overpaid without proving it. The turnaround, I mean the pushback on that is if we think they're getting so much, we should see what the owners are getting.
Oh,
forget about
that's interesting. That's interesting.
So what I'm saying is don't fall into that trap of, if Giannis really wants to win, he'll take less so that they can sign some. Nah, that's BS. That's BS.
And that's the media that tries to spin that on us to hide us, to really realize who's the ones that's making all the money, and it's the owners, man. It's 29 owners every year that they franchise don't get the winning trophy, but I guarantee you their bank accounts and their families are winning.
Yep.
To that point, when I listened to Gilbert talk, he said after you get out of the NBA and you're not getting those paychecks no more, you realize how hard it is to make 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like to make $1 million outside of basketball, it is extremely hard. So why would you take that pay cut for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? When you got the money on the table, you get all you can at that time. Because
did you see what he said regarding Jonathan's boy Cooper Flag and the deal that he just signed?
Nah,
he said his sneaker deal. He said depending on he said he didn't think it might be a good move because he's from that area of where that sneaker company is from, but at the same time it all depends on he said he's predicting what you're going to see now with the draft, especially with these drafts coming up, is guys don't care whether they go 1 or they go 5. All they care about is what market am I going to? Because if you put me in Orlando, I'm not going to make the kind of money I could make in Brooklyn, from the sneaker deal. And he said the sneaker company,
you ain't paying no state taxes neither, too.
No, but I'm saying, but what they're saying is what he was saying, what Gilbert was saying is, it could be a difference between you making $4 million a year from Nike and making $300,000. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
that is
No,
a
I
huge
feel you
difference.
there, but I'm just saying, like, because you threw Orlando out there, you got to keep in mind, Florida and Texas, anybody who don't want to sign to them teams could be a big difference between, let's say, if you sign a $400 million deal
Mm-hmm.
in New York, as opposed to signing a $400 million deal in Dallas. That's about 75 to $100 million difference in no state taxes.
The tax thing is an interesting thing you brought up because that does play a factor with some players.
That's
It, it do-
huge.
well, it does when the money is the same, but it does when the money is the same. But like, say if you're comparing it to L.A. or New York, still the LA or New York factor is, like you're talking about Madison Avenue and you're talking about Hollywood, you're going to make that money back that you lose in
Yeah,
taxes.
Right.
But and then what's the
Another
name
interesting
is
point.
worse. What's the name is worse out here. That's why nobody really wants to go there. Toronto's tax situation is even
oh yeah,
higher.
it's
Yeah, I was
crazy.
about to say that.
Because
You got to
you
transfer your money
paying
too. You get paid
taxes,
in cash.
to Canada and the US.
Yeah, but you got to
Oh,
look at
damn,
this. You getting paid.
that's a
You getting
lot.
paid in
Yeah.
U.S. money, currency. You got to change that shit over to Canada. The money on top of that.
Yeah, like you get hit in Canada for real.
But I think, but going back to my point, I think the NBA, they're gonna have to do something. And I feel like the owners will probably do something like with a lockout, but I'm saying before it reached that point, I wish the players would really consider, because you're gonna have the top players making all of this money. I mean, it wouldn't make a difference if there wasn't a salary cap. To
Yeah, but
me,
you gotta
I
be
don't even
careful,
like I
LBL.
don't
This
even
is a
like
players'
salary
league
caps,
now,
to be
man. I
honest.
mean, the owners, if they take that stand, that
Because
lock-in talk
really,
about, that could be a lot longer than
because
you're
who
just
brought up
saying it.
who brought up baseball? Who brought up baseball?
That was me. That was me.
Yeah. Okay. So baseball doesn't have a salary cap,
None
right?
No, they don't.
whatsoever.
Nah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest problem, is that with the salary cap, because that's what I'm saying. You can't really construct your team if you're paying two guys $60 million and they say, well, the salary cap is 170 and you're paying two guys almost 120. You're not gonna
Right,
have
but
no
that
good
goes
team.
back to the owners not want to pay those extra taxes.
Yeah.
That's why there's a
Not
cap
not only
situation. They don't want to pay all that money.
not only does that go
Yep.
straight on the owners too, but for real, I'm putting this on the weak ass spineless NBA PA. The National
Ooh,
Basketball Association's Players Union are gut maggots with no guts, to quote Gary Busey. And the reason I say that is because anytime the owners want something to happen, they fold. You got to look at the Baseball Players Association. They like the motherfucking mob, man. They get what they want and they make that shit happen. Think about the last labor stoppage in baseball. We got to go back to what, 94? 94, right?
Yeah.
I think. All right. Like, I'm just making sure. I think it's 94. Since then, we done had what? Two times in football and three or four times in basketball? Because
Yeah.
the owners just push the NFL and the NBA players associations around, and they take whatever they want. So like the way how the pie is split in baseball, because in all sports is split when it comes to revenue. In baseball, the players receive, I think it's 63.5% of the total revenue, and the owners get the other 36.5. Whereas in the NBA, it's like
It was 51.
61% to the owners and 39% to the players.
It was supposed to be,
unless
I
you're
thought
an
it was
MVP, that's
51%.
why.
I thought the players get 51%. But when you're saying that, it's not on all of the ancillary things either. It's not like they get a cut of, the hot dogs and all that stuff, the sold at the stadium and stuff. They just
Now
get,
it's like it's merchandise, ticket sales, merchandise, stuff like that.
yeah,
Like the concessions and all of that. A lot of people don't even realize the owners are splitting that with other companies because other companies are the ones that's actually owning that stuff in them stadiums.
yeah.
That's facts.
The
But let me ask
business
you
of
a question.
sports is a motherfucker, man.
Yo, like I just seen this in football. Football does a lot. I want to know if basketball could do it, so maybe they should check up on. Can you restructure a deal?
Yeah,
Because, for instance, he-
you breaking up, bro. But I think you was probably talking about the Deshaun Watson shit that just happened today. where he restructured the Browns restructured. They turned he had like 45 million or 46 million that he's supposed to get paid this year, base salary. They restructured like 44 of that million into a signing bonus.
Seasons you could
You
go
on
money back
computer
to
love
profit.
Yeah,
time, boy.
We
because
can't.
only the signing bonus is the guaranteed money. The salary is not guaranteed.
But what that did was that move, and this is the craziness about the business of sports. When they did that, they converted 44 of that 46 million into a signing bonus, and it actually freed up 39 million for them to have free for the salary
For the
cap this
cap.
year.
Yeah.
And they're not even going to use that this year. They're going to roll it into next year because next year they already 44 million over the cap. So
Yeah, I
like
get you. Yeah.
basketball don't let you do no creative shit like that, and I don't know why.
I think it's
I
like a
just feel
hierarchy
like
type thing.
the sport is getting hurt because I'm trying to tell you from what I see, because I teach kids and stuff, the teenagers and stuff, and I'm telling you, less and less and less of them are even growing up watching basketball. I'm telling you, they not watching it. They'll tell you, yo, Ant Edwards is my man. I'm like, why is that? Because he got a 98 rating on 2K. But
That's facts.
they not watching the games. They not even watching the games. So they watching the highlights. They'll watch the
Well,
highlights.
here's the thing though, because the Timberwolves haven't had a lot of big national television games, but this season they're about to
I
hit a
don't mean
record
just
for
him. I'm
national
talking about
televised games.
whoever. I'm not talking about Ant himself. I'm talking about any of the stars. They're not really watching any of the games.
But I don't really think that's a basketball problem, honestly, in my opinion. I think that's more of a society problem because of the microwave society we live in, that
It is
kids
part
just
of that.
want that. The kids want that instant gratification. Like
TikTok, yeah.
I remember being a kid, 30, 35 years ago, sitting down at the breakfast table with my pops, looking at the box scores and shit like that. Ain't no kids doing that no more.
Yeah.
Most
I
kids
mean,
are on social media
I
now
definitely
trying to
remember
make
doing that in
records
the
and stuff.
newspapers for sure. But
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, like the very few times that we had to go to somebody else's house and watch cable TV, and that's
Yeah.
when I first seen like the games that wasn't even on. Like so, seeing Allen Iverson in his rookie year, I seen him most at my neighbor's house. The very next day after he crossed Jordan, everybody on my block who had the right hand out, bro, was doing the oh shit, you got Jordan on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So you absolutely right. It is a microwave society, a society in terms of how the kids is looking at it and everything. Because they catering to the kids that's playing 2K. They catering to the Twitter fans. They catering to the parlay fans. That's what they catering to. They ain't catering to the day one. They ain't catering to the basketball realists no more. They catering to a different fan base. And on top of that, with the NBA Players Association, you're 100% right. The one of the reasons why this CBA is the way it is because CJ McCollum don't like the Golden State Warriors. That's one of the main reasons. That's one of the main fucking reasons, bro.
Yo,
Like
you
it's
got me weak. Break that down.
that's
Break that down. Let me hear
100%
this.
facts. Everybody
Nah,
gonna
break
laugh
it
at
down.
it,
Let me
bro,
hear this.
but it's
I
facts.
want to
I
hear this.
feel you. That's why I laugh, because I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Like so like he was the nigga, bro. The second that he got appointed a president of that, bro, like the first deal that came up, oh, bet it ain't gonna be another KD on the Warriors, bet I'm in. No,
Yep.
that's all he heard. He ain't even look at the fine print. He ain't look at none of that shit, bro. Like they had puppets in there from the get go, bro.
Yeah.
Like the last person that they had in there that was for the players that was getting 53% of the gross. Was Isaiah Thomas on the Pistons back in the 80s and the early 90s. That was the
Yeah.
last time that was happening, and the NBA was flourishing during that time. Ever
Yeah.
since then, bro, when you get puppets like Chris Paul and CJ McCollum up in there, they in there for either themselves or somebody else.
I
Yeah.
think they
Wow.
for
They definitely
themselves.
didn't want the big
Real
three no
quick,
more.
like the crazy shit that I heard this shit probably like 2 or 3 months ago. Yo, like kids nowadays, they just don't sit and watch a game. Like they get their sports
It's
from
true.
TikTok and Instagram
Well,
watching highlights. That's all
I
they
would
care
also
about.
say this: the All Star game has lost its value last few years. Like everybody used to be so excited
Oh,
by now. It's like,
nobody.
okay, these guys show up and don't even play competitively anymore. It's like they just get their shots in. And I think for fans, it's like that's boring. Where how can you make the All Star game fun again? Dunk contest used to mean something. Now these guys don't even bother participating anymore.
The
Like
NBA
it's
All
lost its
Star
luster.
Weekend.
I
That's
also
on the NBA though too. It's not just on the kids.
I
Like
Yeah,
also
fading
think
out.
for the
it's a
All Star.
lot more stuff for them going on than it was for us. You know what I mean? They got a lot more
Yeah,
outlet
more
looking things,
distractions.
you know what I mean, to occupy their time. You know what I mean? My son 19, but he a hooper, you know what I'm saying? He locked in like me, you know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't like that though, like you saying.
You,
Yeah.
you
Right.
absolutely you absolutely right, Ice, and everybody ain't studying the game and the ins and outs of it, bro. Like you, when you actually sit your ass down and watch 2 hours and 30 minutes of an NBA basketball game, you'll start to see a whole lot of shit that other people are not seeing because they watching highlights and play and the scores only, and
Right.
house of
We the last
highlights and
generation for
YouTube and
real.
all of this shit. It's really man, it's really like messing up the dynamic of like the youth because those are the fans
It's
that they
watering it
appealing
down.
to.
I call it the ESPNization of sports.
Oh
Ooh,
yes,
hey,
yes,
that's
that's
great.
that's yeah, that's very good. That's
And at
very
the
good.
end
That's
of
a
the
very
day,
good
what
word
are
for
they?
it.
They owned by Mickey Mouse, right? They owned
Yeah, they
by
owned by Mickey Mouse. It's one of the reasons
so
why all these kids running around saying LeBron is the GOAT because they ain't
yeah,
watching the
Yeah,
whole
but you
game.
know,
yeah,
but look at YouTube. Niggas rather watch the shorts than the whole video, right?
yeah.
You rather watch
Facts.
the shorts, yeah. So that's how they gonna do. That's how they gonna do the game. They gonna click on the little short 1 minute synopsis of what's going on. They don't really break it down and put it into dynamics of what really going on in the game. And they gonna go based upon Steph Curry shot that logo three. That was the best thing on that little snip.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
that.
That's what it is, though.
Curry
That's
shooting
like y'all
threes.
break
Everybody
that
else
game down.
forgets everything else that was
Yeah,
going on in the
yeah,
game.
Yeah,
yeah. That's exactly what it is.
and
It's
they
one of the
definitely not
reasons
watching no
why.
defense either. Leaf
It's
defense
it's one of the
is
reasons why
non-existent.
Steph and LeBron is so glorified and don't nobody see this all of the shit that they don't do well on the basketball court.
Now
Exactly,
I'll tell you this.
exactly.
I think it's kind of unfair how like teams like Lakes Ward they get talked about like almost all the time, but all these other teams barely get any screen time. Like Timberwolves, nobody been talking about him if Edwards was playing out his mind, but there are other good players in that team too. Like McDaniels,
100%.
like Towns
I
has
think
gotten
it's
better. Like
I
Nobody knew what the
think,
hell
Nas
McDaniels
Reed,
was.
nobody talks about Nas Reed. This
Nas
guy
Reed
was
is my
a
guy.
six
bro,
man,
if
big,
you
tall
ever
dude. How many
if
six men you know that are a backup center that can do what he can do? Don't
I gotta
get
tell
guy
you,
gets no talk about him
I gotta
on
tell you,
ESPN.
nowadays I used to watch all of that ESPN, the Fox Sports, all that stuff, but now I watch more of the players podcasts and stuff,
Yeah.
or like stuff like, Man Down Sports and stuff. Like I watch more of those kind of these individual YouTubers and stuff. I watch them more than I do the official stuff, because the
Mm.
official stuff is like, because there's some unwritten rule on the TV stuff that we must talk about the Lakers and the
Yep.
Dallas Cowboys one
All the
third of our
time.
show.
Oh
You know,
my
It's
God.
No
it's
matter
watered
what.
down.
No matter
I
what,
be
bro.
feeling like you saying, I be feeling like I know more information than them, and I watch them talk about it. Like, oh, you're lying. That's
Yo, Stephen
definitely
A.
not
Smith
true.
and the Cowboys rivalry is like
That's
so
He
facts.
old,
he
man.
he
It's
he
on for like
not he
6
not
years
lying about
now.
that, bro. I did the Nets Lakers game, bro. That was the Nets Lakers and the Nets Warriors game, bro. Was the most views I got on YouTube.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah. Oh, you
That
know what?
next Lakers game
Since
was
someone
crazy.
just mentioned that, when I was watching Gil's Arena, you know what's the name said? Uh Kenyon Martin. He said, "Yo, you know what? When I'm traveling through airports or I'm waiting up, you know what? I trust a lot of fans, like those hardcore fans that be watching every game. I trust their opinions more than I do some of the people in the front office, more than
Facts.
some
Yeah,
of the media people, because they know the game. They sitting there and they actually watching. They'll tell you, yo, this dude, the third guard of my team, he can't play. And this, you could have deep conversations with them fans. So
yeah.
he said at least he appreciates it.
No, it's fun to break down the game, but it almost feels like so sad when you just see the guys always talk about one player, and it's like, what about the other guys that had
That's
good
because
stats
they
that
don't
night?
watch. That's
Don't
because
get effective tape.
but they don't watch. They don't watch. That's why Shaq don't be knowing anybody's name. Barkley
right.
is like, who is this guy? They don't watch the games. They don't watch the games. They only prep them before the games, and that's it.
Mm.
Nah,
They
they
don't know
said that
the league.
they had told a story about Shaq saying that the first time when he first got hired, he ain't watched no games, and just because he played, he could talk about it. But when they actually got into a conversation, he was like stuck, and after that, he had to go like watch the game so he could actually talk about it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
before, he could just walk through it like I'm Shaq. You know what I'm saying? I could just sit down here and just I know what's going on, and then they
yeah.
fucked his ass up asking him questions and shit.
But
That's
when
why
you're a
stats
fan,
matter.
but even us with limited, maybe we might have limited streaming or we might have limited cable or whatever. But even us, because we are the fans of at least our home team or our team, at least we get to see all of these different guys that come in, and we get to see teams. But these guys, these talking heads on like the game of the week or NBA today, they don't watch they don't watch all 30 teams. They don't watch all 12 to 15 guys on all 30 teams like we do. They don't do that.
Nah, they only paying attention to the dudes who they interviewed during the week leading up to the game and shit.
One of my pet peeves. One of my pet peeves, like I'm in the BK block, right? So we're supposed to be a cheering section for the Nets, right? But one of my pet peeves is when some members start saying, you know, like some guy come out and score, and because they're a casual fan, even though I don't know how they made it to the block, but they're like, who are you? Who are you? And I'm like, don't say that. Don't say that. Because this dude, and you know who they be talking about? Someone like Ben Matherin, that's busting our ass. You know what I'm saying?
Or the C Squad Grizzlies came over there with us out, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Guys that just because you don't know, because you only pay attention to your net stuff, then hey, that's what it is. And that's part of the problem too, is that sometimes if you only pay attention, you only read all articles on your team and only watch podcasts just to involve your team, but you don't really look at the rest of the NBA, then how can you really know basketball?
Right. And it's good to take notes on the plays of players doing good stuff and bad stuff, but they always just do the bad stuff. It's like, oh, we can't talk about that, especially if it came from LeBron and Curry. You can only do their highlights. Like, you got to be fair, too.
You know how many arguments I used to get into in Section 114 or Section 1 when I'm at the Barclays because what part of the rules of the BK block is, you know, you can't do anything disparaging. You can't boo your own players or whatever like that. So if you thought Joey Buckets was a bum, you can't say, if Ben comes in and turns the ball over, you can only go, oh, you can't say, get that bum out of here.
What?
Right.
You can say what we want about him, man.
You'll get kicked out.
Wow, that's crazy.
But what I'm saying is, one of my first games I got kicked out for that shit. Yeah.
So
really?
Jared Jack on the team. Yeah. I was telling Jared Jack he's a bum, and they kicked me out.
Yeah.
No way, bro. That is wow.
They
I guess freedom of speech extends until you pay for your ticket. You're the control. That's crazy. That's
what's the story? What's the story on that happening? What happened?
What you said?
Like if you sitting in a regular seat, you can say whatever you want.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I was sitting like in one of them good seats, like they give you like a free buffet and shit. It was like some staff shit. So I went down. That was back in the day when Oladipo was on the Orlando Magic that game. So long story short, Oladipo was smoking us, and Jared Jack wasn't doing shit. So then he missed a free throw. So I was letting him have it. So they come in like suits, and they come give you like a yellow card, like giving you like a type warning, like listen, don't say shit. And then I don't know what happened. Like I think he did he did a turnover, and I was like, "You fucking bomb!" or something. And then he's like, "Yo, listen, you gotta go. You don't want to hear that shit."
You know what got you out? That language. That language.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to.
But I ain't gonna lie, the whole crowd, you know what the problem was too? My whole section was like on my side type shit. Like they was like, "Yeah, fuck him," and they were like, "Nah, you gotta go, man. You about to start a riot here."
He's causing pandemonium.
Yo, I almost got my ass whooped by Eddie Curry one night. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was sitting right behind the Knicks bench, and I called Eddie Curry. I was like, "Yo, you look like a black fucking Shrek, man." And he heard me. He turned around and gave me the look like, "Yo, I'm about to put hands on this dude." And I'm like, "All right, you got it, bro." Like, fuck that.
Yo, there were regular fans trying to fight Nicola's brothers, and I'm like, what are you trying to do with your life, man? These two guys are the size of oak trees, man. You want to fight them?
I do think that affect their gameplay, and that's why they try to slow it down. I seen KD respond to somebody, Kyrie. I seen Westbrook. Like fans do be getting to these players, so then you heckling the players. I think they try to shy away from that.
Remember the Boston series? Somebody do a water bottle inside.
What athlete was it that said, yo, ain't nobody coming to your job heckling you? That's real talk. Imagine what we all do on a daily basis. Like, yo, I work for Aflac. I can't imagine me signing up somebody to a policy and they like, man, fuck that duck, man. Them niggas ain't gonna pay you no bread. Get the fuck out of here. Like that. My salary
But see, I believe this. but I believe there should be some etiquette to certain things. So like when you call in him, you look like a black Shrek or something like that. That's out of bounds to me. Or
Yeah,
because
that
don't
was
have nothing
that
to
was my
do
fault.
with
I was
his
young and I was
game.
drunk.
Yeah, no, I was talking about his
Yeah,
play though. I ain't gonna lie. I was talking about Jack's play the whole time. He really
yeah.
was
But I'm
sucking. But I
saying,
think like the problem was they don't like he said, you don't like that shit because you bringing the whole morale down to the whole arena, you know?
yeah. But I'm saying, but I think that there should be some etiquette to it because dudes like say what happened with Josh Giddey. Remember what happened with Josh Giddey and the teenager or whatever? Dudes be wanting to say,
Yeah.
"Yo, what about this little girl? Are you pedophile?" I'm like, "Yo, you can't say shit like that. You can't say shit like that to them because you don't know what the freaking legal case is and everything, and you saying
Yeah.
stuff. How is he supposed to respond to stuff like that, man?
Right.
So, and like for me, one of my pet peeves is I hate when because some guys get clever. They say funny stuff like, "Yo, the refs got FanDuel," right? Stuff like that. But when they say stuff like, "Ref, you suck," "Ref, you suck," I'm like, that's counterproductive. How
Yo,
is that?
LBO, you remember what happened to Anthony Edwards last year with the chair incident? How a fan claimed that he swung a chair and hit the fan? Something
Yeah.
like that? That was crazy, man.
But I'm saying I just don't think. I think it's counterproductive. You could boo the ref and say, "Oh, that's a bad call" or stuff. But anytime you start saying, "Ref, you suck," "Ref, you suck," it's like now if I'm that ref, I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, now you niggas ain't getting no call."
Facts.
Refs like, let's add it to your taxes.
So
So
you talking about ref petty? The refs could get petty by the wrong chance.
No, they
yeah,
definitely do. They definitely
happen.
yo. So again, when I was younger, I would go to the games and wild out. I'm in my 40s now. I ain't got time for that shit. When I was in my 20s, yeah, I never forget this ref told me one time I was at a Yankee game. So it was an ump. I'm sitting right there, first base line, and the first base ump made a terrible call. And I'm like, yo, ref, get off your knees. You blowing the game. And he was like, yo, you really think that's gonna get a call for your team the next time? Like, nah, that's
Message.
facts.
Yeah, that's straight from the horse's mouth, for lack of better terms.
Yeah. But I think the game, like they got a lot of stuff to clean up and everything. But you know what? They don't see it yet. And I do see one thing like with KG going hard back at Ant Edwards, with Paul Pierce and them, and I think I shared that with Breezy and a couple other people. But one of the things that was enlightening to me was that conversation, that interview that KG had with Adam Silver, where Adam Silver admitted because of the physicality that they're taking out of the game. Remember, and he said, "Well, take a player like Steph Curry. He's not a little guy, but he's more slight. The fans would be deprived of seeing his skills if we played it like they did in the 90s and stuff." And I'm like, so what you saying is you giving an advantage to him and taking away advantage to physical players. So that
No, that's
means
facts.
all of this. So that means all of this is fake because
I
you ain't
wouldn't I
giving that.
wouldn't go that far and say it's
No, I'm
fake. I
saying,
would say
but
it's aided.
yeah, but
You know what
that's
I'm saying? It's
that's
aided to it's aided
that's
to make
it's hard
shit
for
look
me to
better.
say, oh, he's a top. It's hard for me to say, oh, he's a top 10 player, but yet Mahmoud Abdul Rauf didn't get that. you
Yeah.
know, Allen
No, that's
Iverson
facts.
didn't get that. So it's like it's hard for me to say, oh, he's a top 10 player because he can shoot from anywhere, and it's like, yeah, but other guys didn't get that opportunity. So I can't say now if you want to say he's the best player, he's the best shooter I ever saw, I'm like, okay, that makes sense because that's who you saw. But you can't say that and then I saw Drazen Petrovic play. So I'm saying, like, I'm not going to say he's better than him. Imagine if Drazen had all of them screens and everything the way Curry does. Imagine if you blew on him and you got a foul. So that's what I'm saying. It's a different game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you totally on that. But like, it's evolution. It's evolution
But
in
that's what
anything.
they
You know what
that's
I'm
what they
saying?
were
Like,
telling me. But see, I would call it change because usually evolution is change over time for the better. But I'm not saying it's better because it don't look better.
it's not a better quality product for us
Exactly.
to enjoy, but it's a better quality product for them again to make more money. Like, look at football.
Yes,
Like
for them
football
to
to me, To me, football was football when I was growing up, and even before. Like, yo, going back and watching some of them highlights of the '70s football, like them motherfuckers used to kill each other. And in the '80s and '90s, shit was still like real. But now you can't look at the quarterback too long without getting a flag thrown at you. So that's why Tom Brady got 82,000 yards. If you look at the top 10 quarterbacks in passing yards, in terms of passing yards, all of
Yeah.
them dudes, with the exception of Dan Marino, was drafted in 98 or earlier.
Last 5 years, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, how the top 10, like, so how all these other dudes from back in the day, Terry Bradshaw's, Joe Montana's, all these
That,
dudes, you mean to
that,
tell me none of these dudes was nice like that? No, we knew they was nice like that. It's just that they didn't have the freedom to throw the football all over the place because they was busy picking themselves up off the ground every two plays.
now,
Yeah, they can end up in the casket after in the first quarter. You know what I mean?
you
Like,
know what you just reminded me of? You know what you just reminded me of? Remember when Shannon Sharp had Cat Williams on there, right?
Yeah,
And it was a freaking long ass interview, right? Like almost like 3 hours or something like that, right?
yeah,
But you see how he made so much money from chopping it up into those shorts that you're talking about, right? And then showing, oh, I'm gonna just show this one. I'm gonna show this reel. I'm gonna show this, right? And he made money from each of those plus the long-standing one, right? That's what the NBA does now. It's just like
yeah,
what you said. They chop up highlights. They chop up highlights like that, and they just show you that. And it's like, and that's, or the same thing with baseball. It's like, we're gonna show you home runs and strikeouts, home runs and strikeouts.
yep,
So you don't learn the game. You don't learn about hitting behind the runner or hit and run or any of that other stuff, any of the intricacies of the game. All you learn is, hey, yay, he hit a home run, boo, he struck out.
yeah. No,
That's
that's facts. The game is for our generation, and the highlights is for everybody else, for the younger generation. The game is for everybody in my opinion, the game is for everybody who is 30 plus and older. And
yeah.
the actual highlights and all of that shit, that's for everybody else. Like those of us who got kids who want to sit down and watch the game with us, those is the kids that's watching the games. These
I
kids
think
that
I
don't
think there's
have
younger niggas
anybody watching
that's
it
want
with
to.
them, they just like fuck the game.
I think
yeah,
there's younger niggas that want to watch the game. I think there's young niggas that watch the full game and want
I
to
think it's a
understand the
lot
game
though.
more to a whole.
it is. It's the hoop.
But he's saying is
It's
they
the real
cater it
ball.
to.
Yeah, it's the real ballers. Like I'm gonna explain. Homeboy, my homeboy son wanted to try out for varsity, right? So I'm like, I come down and show him some shit, and then I go out there and I'm showing him like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you trying to work on? And he explained. I'm like, all right, we gotta do this. I'm like, but you gotta watch the game. He like, watch. Like, I don't even watch basketball. I'm like, bro, then I can't really help you. You know what I mean? Like, I can't help you. And then he see my son hoop, and he like, yo, your son a beast. I'm like, he watched the game. You know what I'm saying? Then I could teach him. You know what I'm saying? And he was lost. So you know what I mean? It's like what y'all saying. Like, kids want to do certain things, but they don't want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, I could just
Yeah.
go out there and hoop. Like, that's not how it works, bro. Like, you gotta learn shit. You know what I mean?
They don't want to read the instruction manual. They just want to get the toy and put that shit together.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
it's not really their fault though, bro. Like you gotta think the times we in, nigga,
No,
we
that's
grew up with
facts.
commercials. When the last time you see a commercial, bro? Everybody want to stream shit. They watching they whole we about to every week we
Skip,
gotta watch a new
skip,
episode.
skip.
They watch that shit
Yo,
in one series in one day, bro. Back to back to
nah, that's
back to back
facts.
to back. You know what I mean? So now you watching the NBA game. That shit cut to halftime. They not even interested in this shit no more. They on a whole different type of shit right now. So it's like
They on their
you
phone.
gotta,
They on their phone. They
uh-huh,
on the phone watching highlights
yeah,
from the game and not actually watching the game.
exactly. Yeah, they already found out somebody's in the stands in the game. They weren't about their TikTok and shit, and then now they done lost all interest and shit. So
Yo,
it's fucked up.
you remember like Peter Vesey,
Yeah,
the post writer, and he used to be
yeah.
on NBA. So he's still on Twitter, right? So I asked him something recently. I think it was like about last week sometime or something. I said, you know what gets me is how come dudes who are older than me, meaning like Skip Bayless and what's this guy, Mike Wilbon, right? I said, how can guys like that, just older than me, and I got to see Wilt Chamberlain's his last 3 or 4 years, right? I said, and I'm saying, just to tell you, Will Chamberlain's last 3 or 4, his last 4 years, 3 of them years, he led the league in rebounding and field goal percentage, even as an old dude, right? Going up against Reed and Jabbar and all them guys, right? So what I'm saying is, I said, how can dudes that's older than me claim that they basketball guys, but then they say Shaq is the most dominant player? It's like, come on, man, you make it
Yeah.
make sense. So a lot of it is buying into brands, and then and that's what the thing. That's what people hate so much about LeBron and Clutch and all that is, you just making this narrative where you want to be the best and everyone has to say you're the best. And the only way you could do that is by putting other players down.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Shit crazy, man.
Put in which players down though? Who doing that though?
What do you mean?
Cause I pulled it to the conversation late, so I'm trying to like
Oh,
catch right back up.
I'm saying because I've just posted something on social media earlier about a clip that Jerry West had where he just said, "Yo, Michael Jordan is the greatest player I ever saw." Now remember, this is a guy that played with Wilt, right? And
Right.
he's been in the league for so long and everything. God rest his soul or whatever. But what I'm saying is, he said not only was he the greatest offensive player, but at the same time, he was the greatest defensive player in the league. At the same time, this is Jordan, right? So now he's saying that, and then they go back when they asked Michael Jordan, they said, "Yo," I think Mike Wilbon was interviewing him. He said, "Are you the greatest?" And he's like, "Well, I can't even say that because I never had a chance to play against Oscar Robertson. I never had a chance to play against Jerry West. I mean, I would have loved to have the opportunity, but since I didn't, I can't really say that." Now you contrast that with LeBron. LeBron is like, "Oh, after I beat the 73-9 Warriors, I considered now I'm the best. I'm the greatest." So that's what I'm saying, man. It's crazy.
Nah, that's facts. Cause he even said that some corny shit like that when they asked him about what Bronny gonna call him. He was like, "Yo, he can't call me Pops, but he could call me 2-3 Braun or the GOAT." Like, come on, man.
All right,
Yeah.
so where do you rank LeBron all time?
Top 5.
Where exactly?
Well,
My top
remember,
5 don't
I'm
have a
older,
place.
so I'm gonna
My
I'm
top
gonna
5
rank
don't
him
have a
lower.
place. My top 5 don't have a place because the way I look at it is like this. Mount Rushmore, them motherfuckers ain't 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just the 4 of them. So why can't we have top 4s, top 5s when it comes to everything else? Like same thing with rap. I don't put Biggie above Jay. I don't put Nas above Biggie. You know what I'm saying? They all sitting there together to me.
Yeah, that whole idea of saying who's your Mount Rushmore, all that is trying to do is limit your choices. Because even if you look at Mount Rushmore, they ain't even the freaking, they ain't even the most
Yeah,
impactful presidents of the fucking
right.
country. They just say stuff like that to give you, no, you could only have 4. That's what they're saying when they say who's your Mount Rushmore. But now when you asking who's your top 10, I think you just have to qualify it because, like, for me, I would say, are you talking about of all time? Because bear in mind, basketball is older than me, so I don't know. But if you're saying the top 10 I've seen, that's different, right? That's a different question. So that's what, like, so for instance, if you ask me who's the greatest football player of all time, I'll say Jim Brown.
I say
Now,
Jerry
but
Rice.
no, I'm saying, but I never seen Jim Brown, right? But I never seen Jim Brown play. I mean, the most I seen him was in movies and stuff, right? But I never
Right.
saw Jim Brown play. But I said, well, just based on my knowledge of the game and the people who I knew, who I respected their opinions, and what Jim Brown was doing, averaging freaking 5 point something yards per. This dude was the freaking best, right? But I'm saying, but I can't qualify it because I never seen him play. So if you want to discount that opinion, then I could say, okay, then he's not the greatest I've seen because I haven't seen him. So that's what I'm saying. You have to qualify it with who's the best you ever seen, or who's the top 10 you've seen. Not the top 10 of all time. And that's what hurts me with with Curry saying he's the greatest shooter ever. And it's like, well, if you never saw these other guys shoot, then how can you tell? If you didn't see how people defended them, how can you tell? If you never saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play in real games, how can you say that LeBron is better? I don't get it.
No, I'm going with Kareem over Braun. That's me personally.
Well, I've seen them both, so I would take them over them too. But
Most unstoppable move in history, man.
But
Yo,
oh, we talked
yo,
about that, Breezy. When you remember when
yeah.
you mentioned that the most unstoppable move. You know what's funny about that? Because I thought about it and I said, yeah, Kareem Skyhook was hard, but you could actually find on YouTube Wilt Chamberlain blocking it a few times.
Yeah, but that shit is like a folk tale. Like that shit is very hard to stop, bro.
No, but I'm
Even
saying
if
it's a folktale if you got video.
yeah, no, I'm just saying, just the efficiency of that
Yeah,
shot.
but here's the funny thing I was thinking about with the sky hook. Like he perfected because other guys had hooks, but he perfected the sky hook, and because it was so efficient and effective, right? But to show you how dominant a player that Kareem was, a lot of them coaches saw him go into his bag, get ready to do that move, right? Back to the basket. They preferred him shooting that sky hook than the alternative. You know what the alternative was?
The dunk.
Yeah, he be dunking it on your ass and one.
Yeah. Yo, hold on. We gonna move on to the last part of the show. Do y'all think Lonnie? Then I'm gonna close out. I'll probably be back later. Do y'all think Lonnie Walker on the Celtics make them the number one in the East, or number one in the NBA at that?
I mean, I feel like they was already number one.
Is are we overrating Lonnie Walker? I think because I had eyes on him because of last season, him coming off of the bench just make them tougher than they was last season. But I don't know. I just think that the Celtics are a contending team again this season.
Yeah,
They
I
was
think
number one without him coming into the
that's what I
season,
say.
in my
Yeah,
opinion, and then adding him just like I said in our group chat earlier, bro. Like, come on, like they really need something else. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They
Yeah,
already
They
stacked,
just
and now you add
word.
this dude who could give them on any given night to let you know what I'm saying. Drew Holiday, Jalen Brown get some rest. Throw him in there, and he'll drop 20 on a given night. That's only gonna make him even stronger come playoff time, man.
And they still got the little
Lonnie
heavyweight shooter
Walker was
threes too,
scoring
right?
20 points in 20 minutes, man. It was ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean the rich get richer, man. That's what sports is.
Yeah, they tough, man. Yo, I'm gonna be back. I'm kind of rushing through this last part, but I think I'm gonna be back later tonight with more content. But for now, I'm gonna have to close out. But I wanted to say, shout to PSPN, shout to Cap, shout to Easy, shout to Gat, shout to me,
Yeah.
shout to all the old subscribers, the new subscribers. We're gonna be back real soon with more content. Appreciate y'all. W panel, W chat.
Yo, Breezy, real quick,
Um,
yo, what's up?
yo,
You got Madden, right?
yeah, I got that. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Hit me on the Telegram. We gonna talk. I got some shit lined up for Madden. Some tournaments and shit. I'll let you know. You let me
Yo,
know.
I,
Shit like that.
yeah,
Okay.
I was about to say
All right.
we need to get a league, man. Like with some
Yeah.
official.
Nah,
We
yeah.
had a
That's what
we
I'm
had
trying to
a
tell
league
you.
last year. Full disclosure, we had a league last year, and
Yeah.
we had one clown doing a lot of funny business. So it kind of killed the league. So I'd like to get down in the real league where niggas could be honor amongst men and just having fun playing.
Yeah, and like a real franchise shit, all types of shit. But I'll top
Right.
with you on the Telegram. We talk about it,
Facts.
Breezy. All right.
We need to make that happen.
Find me on Twitter. I don't got Telegram. Find me on Twitter. But that whole Madden League thing, that's a real thing. We did the draft and everything, so we could put it together for real.
Yeah. I got you.
Find me on Twitter. I'm at Big Fan Breezy. It's a blue
Yeah, I don't
circle,
got,
like
but I ain't got none of that social media shit. But I drop my math. I drop my telephone in the Telegram. Just hit me directly. You already?
all right, copy that.
All right.
All right, yo, shout the gap, man. Look for us to start that Madden season, football season.
Yeah, I'm with it.
And
Yo,
you
you
know what
about
I'm
to?
saying?
It's almost over, Brito.
Yeah, I'm finna close out right now. We've been here 2.5 hours, so I'll probably be back with more content. But you
No
know,
doubt.
um,
No doubt. No doubt. I
um,
was just pulling back up. Know what I mean, but
All
it's all
right.
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be here a little early. I know I'll be pulling up like midnight and shit. I'm gonna try to get here a little earlier.
It's all good.
Um,
Know what I mean, the people be here when you pull up, though. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to the old and new subscribers. Shout out to the whole panel in the chat. W show. See y'all later, y'all.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.